Wake up, gamers, cause you're listening to Big Think Dimension with KZ Excellent,
I'm optimistic about things.
Dan and Bob Video Games,
You see that mountain? You can fuck another man on that mountain.
and Mr. Feel
Lords of Shadow is a bad game.
here on GigaBoots.
You guys ever say anything on a podcast and like somebody comes at you on Twitter and he's like, I can't believe you don't realize that other phones have OLED screens. That's happened to me. I'm just curious if that happens to anyone else here. They make a statement and then it's grossly taken out of context to mean something far stupider and grander.
I'll say things on these podcasts and then you will run bits about them. That's basically the same thing, only it's instant.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Paraphrase.
This podcast will be an 8 out of 10.
Wait a second. I didn't. There was no taking your review of Burst Limit out of context.
I've heard that 8 out of 10 is as good as Promare.
Ah, so you too follow the legendary anime reviewer Hail Zeon on Twitter, who we went to go see.
Captain Zeon now.
Captain
Zeon.
Zeon, actually. You got to keep up on the lore.
See, but they changed their fucking name constantly to Hail something else. So
Captain Zeon at Deus
They
Ex
changed
Machina.
That was their
changed
at.
Earl. Yeah, they changed their at.
Don't fucking call it Earl.
My name is Earl.
I
That
haven't.
show where
I don't know what the canonical
Did the
name is
karma.
on YouTube either, because there are 3 different channels. One moment.
It's an ARG.
I'm looking it up. I feel like it might be. It certainly promotes itself like an ARG. Okay, it says Zeon's vlog channel on his most recent channel, so we're going to go with Zeon. Anyway, we went to Promare. Promare was pretty good. For those who don't know, it's a anime film by Studio Trigger. Bob,
Yeah, what's up?
you like that film, right?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie.
now, no spoilers, of course.
Yeah.
But
no.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how gay was it?
There was exactly one straight scene.
Wait.
Whoa!
What? I'm not lying.
What was it? The credits?
Why are you booing? I'm right, says Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob's not wrong.
Good to know.
Was it
That
the
was a stellar review.
Was it
Yeah.
the credits or like
It wasn't the credits.
Yeah.
Of course not. Come on,
It
KZ.
was in the credits, no. But
that eye's fucking the O?
as we mentioned on Twitter, but we'll also mention it here somehow, Bob and I ended up at the only theater in America that accidentally rolled the sub version of the movie on Tuesday instead of the dub version. See, the setup was Tuesday's showings everywhere were supposed to be the dub version, and then Thursday would be the sub version. The main appeal of going to the dub version, aside from being like, hey, there's Crispin Freeman, hey, there's Johnny Young Bosch, is that they have...
Hey, maybe some people don't read so great and need a dub.
I mean, there's also that, but it had the Shantae opening animation by Trigger play before the movie or after the movie. We didn't get that. We didn't get to see Shantae's dope-ass anime intro in theaters, and honestly, that was one of the main reasons why I came. So that was fun. Hey, Bob, did they ever refund your ticket?
I'm still waiting on a response from Fandango.
Oh, thanks, Fandango.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by literally anyone other than Fandango.
Thanks, Tim Schafer.
So I'd like to point out that my theater did not get Promare, so I can't go see it. Toy Story fucking 4 is still showing.
What? That came out like 5 months ago or some shit.
Wow.
It came out more than 3.
Wow. That sucks.
Every Disney movie make the $1 billion. Yeah, because it's in theaters 18 months.
Yeah. As it turns out, that is how that works. But, yeah, no, Promare was nice. I would have liked to have seen it with a dub, but, not sure I'm going to watch it again just to experience it with a dub.
Yeah, I really wanted to see that dub. Had a lot of voice actors I like.
But, you know, I feel like, and this isn't the case because we have an OLED, it's because this has been the case for a while. I always feel like if you watch a Blu-ray at your house, you can get a better experience than watching it in a theater, like visually. So I do want to see that movie on one of these TVs.
Yeah, I'm definitely buying when it comes out. I was just happy to see Trigger can still make something really cool. Like, their last few years of anime have been kind of downers.
What have they made? Let's do a rundown.
Darling in the Franxx.
I heard Voxandra loved that.
They don't count.
Okay, whatever you want to say. Kisniver, I think. And there, what was that? It was based on that giant robot series. Oh my god.
Oh, Gridman.
Gridman was okay.
I know a lot of people who swear by Gridman, so
It was okay at absolute best, and it had some cool sequences, but it was by no means like what I expect quality-wise from a trigger show.
I know nothing about that except that one girl with her thighs, because that was in my feed for like 3 months straight.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought Gridman was a character in Death Stranding.
It can be both.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Death Stranding may remake Gridman as a whole, honestly. That might be there.
I do intend to watch Gridman at some point because the show's actual title is SSSS Gridman, which is a reference to when they brought, because Gridman was an old Toku show. And when they brought it over to America, they made Super Samurai Cyber Squad.
Oh.
So that's what the 4 S's before Gridman stand for. And apparently it ties it that's not just a joke. There's a connection to that at some point in the show.
Huh.
That's weird.
It has really obvious connections to the old regular show. I had no idea that it also connected to that. That's pretty neat.
It's connected to the show Regular Show?
No, the original, the Japanese Gridman.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Billy Mitchell was in that.
Legally, no, he wasn't.
Legally, he wasn't. He lost that lawsuit.
I didn't watch Kisniver, but I know a lot of people who liked it a lot.
I got 2 episodes in and it was like, oh, you think you're really smart. Oh no, stop.
I haven't watched a Trigger thing since Kill la Kill.
Yeah, that's the last time it was really good.
If you like Kill la Kill, then you'll like this. I think I can say with somewhat confidence. Bob, would you agree?
I think so. They use a whole bunch of cell animation. Well, sorry, 3D animation instead of like actually drawn animation, but it actually looks good, which is unusual.
Which is important.
I saw some GIFs that looked really appealing.
Visually appealing.
It will roll out title cards for characters a lot. And that's
I'm
always
a big fan
very
of
good.
title cards. The best part of Kill la Kill is title cards every 5 seconds.
It
yes.
It has that spirit.
Oh, it does. There's a point where 2 characters introduce themselves and they both get giant fucking name platters above their head. Cuts to a third-person angle. They've both got them floating in midair above their fucking heads.
That is important. Major question here.
Uh-huh.
Is there any part of this film where they do the funny "we don't have money" thing, where they just make the person like move as if they're like clicking and dragging?
A paper cutout.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one moment that had that energy, but it was brief. I'm trying to remember what it was.
There might have been a moment like that with the mouse.
Oh God, the mouse.
Because I was wondering, because it's just like the one character in Kill la Kill where it always animated like that, where you're like, that's a neat thing. Also, it saves money.
Yeah, I've met people like, Kill la Kill looks bad because it does that. It's like, it knows what it did. It's calling
it. Chose the right character for it, so it's fine.
But yeah, no, that film, if you like Trigger stuff, you'll probably love it.
Yeah, I'll check that out once it's out on VOD.
On sane releases.
Yeah.
Not just in theaters. But yeah. Anyway, that's thank you for coming to our anime review podcast. Tune in next week for all of Dragon Ball Super. We're just gonna review it all next week.
Okay, I'm up for that. Let's go.
Okay, here we go.
Make sure to pledge to our Patreon for the commentary track on every episode of Dragon Ball Super.
$10,000 a month is the cheapest I'm doing that for.
God, we would need more.
Even I think, man, that's a little low, don't you think?
Yeah, that's like 100,000.
And then you think about at $6,400 where we do our Donkey Kong 64 spoiler cast.
No.
Casey, shut up.
I think the funniest thing about
I'm just going to establish this right now.
Yeah.
no Patreon goal anybody mentions is real if it isn't on that page.
Yep. No, that's
Very important.
that's when it's
Because
canon.
we record this early enough that he has enough time to put it in.
Yeah, if I meant it. Speaking of which, the funniest thing about a Dragon Ball Super commentary track is in Bob and my audio, you could hear Xeon pounding on the door and like, let me in! Let me in! Let me in!
He's like, aggro busts down this door. Oh man, I have no quarrel with them.
No, man. Let him go in peace.
Hey Dan.
Huh?
How was your week?
Oh, I just covered my week. Hey, Bob, how was your week?
Thank God. Okay.
I actually played a decent bit of the Call of Duty beta. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta going on. Unfortunately,
I did 40 minutes of it before we met today.
Unfortunately, it will be down by the time this podcast goes up.
Oh,
But hey,
can't win them all.
no.
It's all right.
Yeah, I played it last weekend, and then I didn't get a chance to boot it up this weekend yet. But I'm excited to play a little more. I feel like it's so much more exciting and interesting than they have been in 5+ years. Like, this is easily the best feeling one since Modern Warfare 2, which is, I didn't think they'd ever do it again, honestly.
Yeah, I was doubtful too. I've been really interested in this game since they showed it off, and I'm really excited to play it later this year.
I think part of what makes me feel good about it is one of the classes they start you out with, they give you a 3-burst gun where your gun like shoots 3 bullets at once, and it can kill guys.
Whoa.
It just does. Like, if you get even one headshot, they're almost certainly dead. Body shots will just usually finish them.
You know, not a popular opinion, but I'm glad. I'm really tired.
I'll try this one.
I'm really tired of how they've been tweaking the balance of this series ever since Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
But, you know, someone in the
Did
comments.
they like start to be like, people complained about dying too easily, so now we're making everybody too hard to kill.
It's a really complicated thing to talk about. It's so many changes on so many fronts.
Right, I know. Some years there's perks to increase your armor and all this other junk, and it just became a mess.
Time to Kill is weird as an outsider to this series because I remember watching a review of the recent last year's Call of Duty, and they said they've increased the time to kill, so it'll a bit easier. And I'm like, you always die in like within a second though. I've seen. To my eye, there is no fucking difference here at all.
I mean, that's fair. I can totally understand.
Yeah, I mean, people die in ridiculously fast no matter what.
Yeah, it feels negligible. I just did quick play for about 45 minutes, and I enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. Did some like capture point stuff. Thought it was a decent amount of fun. Does this have a campaign at all, or
Yeah,
the
they
campaign
still not
is
doing
back.
that?
Last year was the anomaly. This will have a campaign.
I can't wait for next year.
And Spec
Oh,
Ops is
God.
back. I'm excited. Like, hopefully me and Dan have some time to play that, because that was an amazing mode in Modern Warfare 2.
Absolutely. It's almost like we're gonna justify a reason we have this capture card that has 2 HDMI ins. Maybe. But yeah, no, Spec Ops is really great. I would really like to do some Spec Ops multiplayer. That would be really good. You play anything else, Bob? I know
That was the main thing.
I know we've been playing a lot of PS1 stuff, testing out the PSIO,
Right.
which for those who don't know is a PlayStation device that hooks into the back. It hooks into the back of PlayStation 1s that have that one port that you could hook Game Sharks into. And it basically hijacks the CD-ROM drive so that way you can play games off of an SD card, which is great, not only because you can play games from other regions on a normal PS1, and if you have RGB video out, you can even play European 50 frames per second games, but also because I get to play Ehrgeiz and the intro plays smoothly. Like, none of my PS1 games have good enough discs to play perfectly anymore. It's 2019.
It's important.
You can't be beaten.
Ehrgeiz, the air horn. Air horn
You know,
geese.
Ehrgeiz probably better than the bouncer.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, hey,
I would also agree.
Hey, I learned recently if you play through the bouncer, you shouldn't level up.
You learned that from a strategy guide that may or may not be full of shit. And that
Brady
poor
game
person,
strategy guide that said the game will be harder if you level up, so never level up.
that is some real Isolation 119 logic.
Hate to be the sucker who followed that.
Speaking of which, bombing that live stream was delightful. People were fucking terrified that I showed up.
Yeah, one of those was me.
Candace Sky started streaming The Bouncer, and I just arrived and I said, "Hello, it's The Bouncer," and everyone went, "Shit!"
I was like, "Oh shit, he's here! The bouncer! Is he stalking the bouncer? Or is he stalking me?"
Casey's like, "Wait, the phone call's coming from outside."
He's coming out of my OLED.
I can hear him coming. It's his car. You can hear it from blocks away.
The first part of that sentence gave me a completely different expectation of where it was going.
Yes, that's fair. But no,
Yep.
I like that it ended up with Dan drives an explosion. You
Yep.
can hear it from space. But yeah, we played a lot of PS1. And by the way, real quick, and then I'm going to move on. If The Bouncer controlled like hierarchies, it would be a much more well-regarded game.
Oh yeah,
probably.
Because Ehergeese has a button to activate the lock-on/strafe bullshit, and The Bouncer just does it automatically once you're within, I don't know, a 3-mile radius of an enemy. So that way you walk slower and have to circumnavigate them, and it's the fucking worst.
It's crazy that a fighting game where it's one-on-one almost always
has a lock-on button, but the action game doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were crazy.
Yeah, they were.
So ahead of their
I feel
time.
like they made the weird RPG thing first.
They made Toe Ball, and Toe Ball also has that weird RPG
That
mode.
RPG mode.
Yeah. So that's something they did for every game, except for The Bouncer, which is just a weird RPG mode. But there is 4-player multiplayer.
I wish a fighting game would come out now and have a weird RPG mode. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I always really liked those. That was the best part of GT Final Bout on the PS1, which is, by the way, a bad game.
Grand Blue is supposed to have something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
The closest thing I can think of is when one of the Layton games came out and was like, yeah, when you beat the game, you unlock a 150-hour long JRPG we just made.
Okay.
But yeah, we played a lot of PS1 stuff, making sure this device was relatively consistent in how it worked. Its compatibility has been pretty good so far. I think the only major screw-ups were on Bust to Move 2, and it has a problem where it doesn't play the sound in time for certain audio cues in games. So Tetris Plus, it waits way too long to play the victory fanfare when you beat a level, and then because it waited so long, it cuts off the end. It's really depressing because the music in that game is great and a highlight of it. But they're constantly working on the device to improve it. So I'm looking forward to what is, as of this recording's, tomorrow's live stream of the PS1 Retro Roulette. Yeah, I'm very excited. This thing has been delightful. It's maybe one of the best mods we've gotten for a thing so far.
Oh yeah, since I've been gone for a little while.
Oh yeah.
I played all the way through River City Girls.
Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't make it for last week's big thing.
Did you guys talk about it last week?
We did not, actually.
Okay.
Yes, I beat it twice. So I talked about it some.
Okay.
Or your
Yeah.
thoughts on it.
I thought it was really good. That ending is very unexpected, but I won't spoil that.
Oh yeah, that is something Phil brought up last week. That some people are upset.
Yeah, no,
I
think
have an
rightly
idea
so.
of what it is based on posts I saw angry about it.
But yeah, that game is really neat, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Like, if we can arrange something where we can go through both together, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, that would be good. That'd be really good.
I also played a little bit of Samurai Showdown to try out Hisame, who finally released the new DLC character, who's free for everybody.
Oh.
You don't need to buy him.
Oh, nice.
You may know him better as the Umbrella Kid from previous Samurai Showdown games.
Oh my God, Umbrella Kid.
Yeah,
When's he getting in Smash?
I don't know,
I saw
man.
some scum.
Mm-mm.
I saw some fucking scum with him already where like he has a move that takes him off the ground and then an air dash, and I can't figure out what's going on.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm excited. He's he used to be one of my favorite characters. I want to play more as him. Try and get good. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, I can't think of any remarkable PS1 games I should bring up here, but we did play that terrible Dragon Ball Legends because Xeon convinced us to.
Oh man, he kept telling us, "Oh yeah, people tell me it's like the
best.
The
it
best.
has the Sonic CD effect.
Sonic CD effect.
Yep, and honestly, feel, work with me here. Listen, we should probably rename that principle to the Dragon Ball Legends effect.
No, because nobody knows what that is. I didn't even know this game existed.
The divide.
Yeah, but I still don't. I still think that Sonic CD is still well liked by people. No one fucking likes this thing if they play it.
No,
people do.
He literally got in an argument with someone just for retweeting me saying that it was bad. It's unreal.
Encase them in cement and throw them into the ocean.
Not the only method for dealing with it, but I see the validity of your strategy.
You can. You're right.
Mute them too.
You could just encase them in amber instead.
Look,
you're right.
The Sonic CD effect isn't about the game actually being bad.
I mean,
it's just this game nobody played is the best one, and then it very much isn't.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's the worst of the original 4 Sonic games. Or, sorry, I guess 5.
I would like to elect not as mainstream as, I guess, Sonic CD.
Uh-huh.
But why don't you call it the Final Fantasy Type 0 effect? Because that's what everyone said about that game.
Yeah.
No one played it. Then it localized, and everyone went, nope.
It's all this, and then, everybody went, nope.
Yeah, that was a real bummer moment.
Yeah.
That was a real bummer moment. But yeah,
I
guess
this is the best one. It's so brave. It's M-rated.
I guess since Sonic
that happened,
CD came first, we'll go with that.
Like when we started with this podcast where I played that Far East of Eden 0, and I'm like, this is a legendary JRPG. Americans have never been able to play it. They just translated it. And then I played it and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah,
we weren't missing anything. This is bad.
I feel like that Dragon Ball Legends game is one of the worst games I've ever played.
It really is that level of fucking insanely bad.
Bob, why do you keep running into these? This year's been terrible for you.
I feel like this is the first one this year that I've said is the worst game I've ever played. I've said things like it's the worst platinum game, but that's a much higher bar than worst game ever.
Isn't that weird that you said it's the worst platinum game and some people just went, wow, Bob's really dunking on this game? And I'm like, he kind of had the qualifier of platinum. And if you listen to the fucking spoiler cast, you would know he's not including like
TMNT.
Yeah, he's not including the fucking brand deals, which were clearly like Machine
That's like a filler
Factory.
Arc.
Yeah,
it's like the filler arc.
It's like the Machine Factory, like mass manufactured game thing where it's like Activision comes to you and says, we need you to make this in a year.
Yeah, there's definitely no other platinum games that are worse except the PS3 version of Bayonetta, maybe.
Even that they themselves disown. They're like, no, that isn't us. The Sega ported that. We wish they didn't.
We would literally prefer nothing.
You know, I think Bob needs to play some really good games. I mean, we are recording this podcast on launch day of Devil May Cry 2.
I thought you were going to say Zelda Link's Awakening.
No,
but...
it's still Thursday. Otherwise, I would have.
I'm not buying that game.
It's kind of like weirdly wholesome that somebody at Capcom still has to make trailers for Devil May Cry 2 in 2019.
Yeah,
Bob's tweet.
Incredible.
Bob tweeted that, and I was like, ow.
Yeah, just thought that someone has to do that over
like,
there.
What? That's the job you get if you piss off the boss. He's like, make Devil May Cry 2 look good. That's your fucking job.
The social media guy, when prompted, you need to post about Devil May Cry 2. His jacket's cool.
Well, yeah, that's the only
cool.
thing that you can say good about that game.
That was the post. That's all they could come up with is, well, he has a cool jacket.
That's not true, Bob.
Coming out on the 19th.
That's not true. You know what you can say that's good about that game, Bob? Some insane shit that isn't in that game. That's how every conversation I've had about that game where someone's really positive about it goes. They're like, it has a more mission-based structure. And I go, fucking what?
God, people are insane, yes.
Anyway, hey, KZ, what have you been playing over the last week?
I'm going to talk about the Sega Genesis Mini real quick.
Oh, okay. Tell me about the Sega Genesis Mini.
It came out today. So I finally I cracked it open. It's really nice, actually.
How's Tetris?
I just like I don't know what they're thinking, man. It's like, I know we gotta bolster numbers here, but fucking Tetris on this thing is abysmal. They're like, yo, it's bad Tetris with bad music with bad JPEGs in the background.
Yeah, nobody remembers Tetris from Genesis. That's insane.
I didn't know they even had one.
It didn't come over because it was just bad.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. They have the UI is nice. You can sort by like multiplayer and single player stuff, release date, alphabetical, even like genre and stuff. The UI is overall pretty all right. It's got the it's got like your save states and stuff like that. It's got a CRT filter, which I think is very important.
God, why?
Makes the game look good.
It's just KZ looks at that one picture of the Mona Lisa that has the CRT filter, and he's like, "As God intended."
Correct.
KZ, now, I don't... We're about to have a very difficult conversation.
Okay. And what's up? What's up, Daddy?
You get to be one of two things when you say a CRT filter looks really good and is as intended. And I'll let you choose which one you are, because I don't believe in defining other people. I let their actions and words define themselves. Are you a boomer or a hipster?
No, I'm just blind.
Damn! He's avoided my attack!
You see, I've subverted your expectations, and that's all that needed to be done.
That's what makes you a great storyteller.
Yeah, environmental storytelling on this podcast. The whole package just feels really nice as someone who owns one of the ones you could buy at a 7-Eleven back when they had the old, I think it was the At Games. Like a family member went, "You like video games? We found this." And I went, "Oh no." There's an argument that this is the best one of them all, just because it has a much bigger lineup, though I think the UI stuff in the SNES Mini is really, really good. Like, they did the whole sprite work setup, and it's like your save states in the background is popping out a cartridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good aesthetic choices. I think it's weird that this follows along the same path of the PlayStation one, where there was a controller that was the obvious choice for the good controller, and they didn't use it. Because they have Street Fighter on this, and it only has 3 buttons on the controller. Yeah,
there's the 3-button pad, which is a bit strange when you pack this in with Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition.
yeah.
Gotta hit that start button to get your picks. Exciting. It's just like the old days.
Do the controllers connect with USB? Because Sega had like a weird thing where no, you can use an original controller. Okay,
Yeah,
so they don't.
Yeah, it's a USB port.
I feel like this is the best one purely because it has basically every single Genesis game you'd ever want.
I'm trying to think. I think you're right on that.
Yeah, it's missing stuff. Sonic 3.
Yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles are the obvious big one.
Mm-hmm.
Shining Force 2, which is way better than 1.
I don't want to be mean, but I'm going to have to call out a video on YouTube.
Oh, no.
I think that's it.
I watched a video that was like, here are 10 games that should have been on the Genesis Mini. And I was like, okay, sure. I'm interested in learning about some interesting games that I didn't think of that should have been on this console. He then listed like 5 different comic book superhero games. Like, it should have had Batman. It should have had X-Men. It should have had, and I'm like,
the X-Men ones were well regarded.
They're okay.
They're nightmares.
They're okay at best. But yeah, no, it was a pretty bad video. It was like, I want superhero comic book games and NHL. Why isn't NHL on this? And I'm like,
I do think it's really surprising that these have it doesn't have like Quackshot or Maui Mallard.
Right. But it
but
does
it has
Castle
the
of
Illusion games, which I think are weird that those are there at all.
Oh no, those
I'm
are
surprised.
the most hype,
Oh, yeah, those are-
well-regarded Disney games from the Genesis era.
Right?
Castle of Illusion, very well regarded. I can't remember. Does this have the sequel? Does it have the second of
Yeah,
Illusion?
there's
Yeah,
World of
yeah,
Illusion too.
Okay, I actually like World
They
of
managed to get
Illusion.
both of those.
I like World of Illusion more personally.
I need to play that one
I've
because I
never
really
actually
like Castle
played the
Illusion
normal Castle of Illusion. I played the remake.
The remake's surprisingly good. The narrator sounds like Richard McGonagall, aka Sully from Uncharted.
still. The Last of Uncharted.
The Last of Uncharted.
So
yeah.
I think the coolest thing that I noticed as we were doing this podcast is if you switch to Japanese, the entire UI changes to a Mega Drive version
Yep.
and gives you the box art for everything in Japanese.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But I think that's really, really neat.
I know there's some people that are bigger fans of the first two Shinobi games than they are of 3. I don't agree with them, but there's definitely a group that would rather have 1 and 2.
I think being interested in Sega gaming history isn't the same as being interested in playing good games, Bob. I think those are two very different things in my experience.
Oh, there goes Dan again.
With his crazy statements of the Master System is a dumpster fire of a console.
That's not crazy. They literally
Master System sucks so fucking bad.
they had like degrees of like, oh no, we need to get a game out every 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, like they definitely, like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 came out as well as it did because they broke their own internal policy at Sega of churn out a game in 3 months. You only get 3 months. So that's also why the Master System version of some Sega games is worse than the NES version of some Sega games. God, that's insane. That's nuts. KZ, you play anything else?
I already talked about the 45 minutes of Call of Duty I played. So yeah, I played Borderlands 3 for 18 hours.
Whoa. Whoa.
Fuck.
I know that the time stink, but whoa. Are you doing a Let's Play?
Like level? No,
Oh,
this is
I'm sorry.
This is for me, for my own personal fun and experience. Play about 18 hours. I'm like level 17. I have a decent scope of the story. I didn't look at many trailers for this at all, aside from the one that they had to play 4 times at a PAX panel because the tech was fucked up during that legendary Borderlands panel where Randy Pitchford was shitting his pants.
and got
do a
arrested on
magic
stage,
trick.
yes.
How many cards do you want me to draw? 50. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Oh no, I guess I
I'm gonna do it.
gotta.
I'm gonna do it really slow. Are you sure? We give you an out.
What do you want me to do with this knife? Stab yourself. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Fine. Here I go.
I feel like the only way to properly talk about Borderlands 3 is to tell you what the story of Borderlands 3 is.
Hey, Bob, I have to go to Taco Bell. Enjoy doing the rest of
In
this
my
podcast.
recollection, you can't. This is very important.
God damn it.
It's a very intense story. I barely remembered what the story of the first game was besides there's a vault, you gotta go find it.
Right. I think that was the best story they've ever had. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the story
All
was
right,
just...
all right. So the story in this one is: what if there were like a super vault where there's vaults in like a bunch of different planets, and then there are 2 bad guys who are like a brother and sister, and they have a cult, and they want to get like the big super vault key that will or a map that'll show them where all the vaults in various different planets are, and we don't want them to get it because we're the good guys.
I hear
Good
they're also
vault
streamers.
hunters.
Is that right?
That's your villains are live streamers in this.
They team up with your other arch nemesis, people who want to get paid for their work.
Yeah. Sometimes when you play the game and the codec pops up and the female one that pops up because she's the one that dominates 90% of them. She ends her thing with like, comment, and obey.
Oh my god.
And then she's like, I'm getting really excited. We're gonna film some Let's Plays.
Fuck this game.
God.
You won't pay any of the writers, so they all quit. And Pitchford's like, I got this. Pulls out can of Monster Ultra Zero, starts slamming it down as he types.
I knew this. I saw two separate people when I was looking up stuff about this game who said, unironically, bring back Anthony Birch.
Oh,
I'm going to be honest, based on everything you said, I kind of agree with them.
oh.
So so these are two insane people they have a cult. They're trying to get access to all these vaults. You're trying to build up a resistance to stop them along the way, in which you're also teaming up with various veteran characters that you played as in the previous games. And that stuff's neat. They do that. I'm not very up on Borderlands. I don't know why they do the thing where there's a live action person that cuts in through a weird like picture in picture thing.
Let me explain. I can explain this for everyone who hasn't either noticed this or just didn't play the original. In the original, it was a cheap thing to do. It was a way to save money. It was an aesthetic idea. Now they're just doing it because they did it in one.
Yeah, they do it with They do it with one of the characters in the game that you meet anyway regularly.
What?
So they'll
Weird.
just cut.
What?
Yeah. It's,
So not even, like-
it's whoever the siren character type in the first game was. My
Jeez,
understanding is
what
that
the
that
fuck?
character.
Okay, because
Wait,
they did it with
what?
a specific character in the first game for a reason, kind of, and also saving money. Jesus.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
That's pretty
Lilith,
weird.
that character where they show like live action cut-ins in the beginning of the game for it. And then you just walk up to her and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" And it has like that Square Enix effect where you see the quality drop in the face because they're just constantly doing that. But thankfully, early on in the game, she gets owned, so she can't actually do that with you anymore.
That's sad.
Because she gets leveled down because they try to build her up as a big super Chad. This game's writing made me make a statement on Twitter when Phil posted what I was saying about the game, in which I said this game is caustic.
That is very strong coming from you.
There are times where this game will go, we're gonna make a line of quests, right? Where we're gonna try and annoy you for 45 minutes. Because everybody has to be claptrap in this game. Everybody's gotta have a very loud gimmick that makes you want to be dead. I did a quest in which this woman said, "I need coffee. Can you go to this place and get the coffee?" This quest took me 30 minutes because they kept adding more and more shit on it. And she calls me saying she needs her coffee about 12 different times and says, I always use the expression, if I don't have my coffee, I could kill someone, but now I mean it. I had to fight an evil, crazy coffee general. And then they had enemies that are like the coffee, like sentries or some shit. And then at the end of all this, we're trying to make you laugh. At the end, she's like, "Thank you. It's things like these that remind us of the old world." And I wanted to kill myself.
This is like reminds me of Citizens of Earth.
That really bad.
It's a really bad Earthbound clown.
Yeah, no.
Earthbound. Well, it is clown. An Earthbound clone that got an equally horrifying sequel called Citizens of Space. But I only played Citizens of Earth, and like the first major plot arc was, Starbucks is run by aliens. Go through a coffee dungeon, and like this is unfunny and boring. Do I have to? Yes. And it just has that same feel to me. Where it's like, here's our one joke. Enjoy it for the next 2 hours.
That's really awful.
What character are you playing as, KZ?
I'm playing as Zane. He is like the normal like dude. I think he's like Jacksepticeye. I think he's Irish. And he's like, "Hey, potato." And his main gimmick is one of his cooldown actions is he pops up a clone of himself that's like a hologram but can also deal damage. So it'll divert the enemy's attention while it'll be shooting at stuff. So that's pretty good. This game, the way it writes a lot of stuff is we're gonna throw a lot of jokes at you, but then we're gonna try and, be serious by the end, and it feels so unbelievably unearned. Because when you give me this coffee mission and end with like, this is really, this reminds me of what we had before. That's really great. I'm like, you were memeing at me for 30 fucking minutes, and you were so insufferable about it. I hate you. And then they said, now go get me hot dogs or some shit. And I left that planet. I left because you can travel to different planets in Borderlands 3.
Oh yeah, it leaked early on that it was supposed to be called Border Worlds at first.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
and
bad
they're like
name.
branding's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a terrible name. I'm glad they decided to just make it 3.
I unironically believe that at one point BioShock Infinite was just called Aeroshock.
That would have been hilarious. Your hub in this game is a big spaceship called Sanctuary, where you go up to the main bridge, and you can jump to different planets, and they're all visually distinct, which I think is really fresh. Like, I enjoyed each location. Like, you start in the Borderlands 1, where it's just bland desert, but then you have like a metropolis looking location, and then like a more Japanese or Asian inspired architecture, more green. And the latest zone I went to is a moon, like a moon base that had a pretty large section, and that one had low gravity.
Oh no, it's Borderlands the pre-sequel.
Yeah, it's
yeah, I assumed, and yeah, that section is contending with being able to do moonish jumps, but I didn't find it particularly offensive.
That's good.
Now,
I mean, it's not the whole game.
Yeah.
So I found that Randy Pitchford lied at some point, and I thought it was really funny because when the game was like revealed, they showed the character Reese, who was from the Telltale Borderlands games, and he was voiced by Troy Baker.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he didn't return for this, and then Randy said, "Yeah, he told us no." And then Troy said, "No, I didn't. You never contacted me. You should fact check your tweets." I would have loved to come back. I adore this character. And then Randy Pitchford, when responding to someone, said, "Either way, it doesn't matter. This guy we got now is doing a great job. And once you play the game, you'll see why it doesn't really matter that he's in," implying that this character has a very small role and more of a, I clapped because he's from the Telltale game people liked. No.
Tells to me it didn't matter because this guy was way cheaper.
Yeah, that's why it didn't matter, because this dude has a shit ton of lines. The entire moon section is dominated by him. He's in like your ear the whole time. Also, might be the best character I've encountered in the game, because all of the humor used with him is actually decent and enjoyable. And I'm just mad that Troy Baker isn't doing it, because it would have been even better.
Yeah. But
Because-
that's
So how much claptrap have you
That's
had?
money.
How much are they
Very
forcing him in
very
there?
little.
Do you think they're using claptrap sparingly because he has a different voice actor?
Yes. Yes, because everyone is wacky like Claptrap, so you don't necessarily need him. Like, you start the game with him, he like loses his antenna, and then you get to like choose from 5 different objects you pick up to like put a spork on his head.
yes.
Like that.
That makes me want to. Everybody is wacky like Claptrap. Is like, I'm sorry, sir, they didn't make it.
Oh no. Well, like, you start the game with him, you're in the first zone with him, and then when you finally get your ship and leave, there's a funny bit, funny in air quotes,
Thank you.
As usual.
in which he doesn't brace himself, I guess, when they were going to do their liftoff, or he presses a bunch of buttons and slams through the window, and then he's like trapped and he's keeping the air from getting out.
And he's trying not to get fired, and
oh yeah, he locked up a bunch of the crew, saying that he was making slaves, and then they had to say no Claptrap, no slaves, And I haven't seen him since. and I played like 10 or 12 hours since then. Like, he has not shown up at all. It's just been the other characters, because they keep bringing back characters that were from the other games, like Zero and Maya, I believe they are, and some various new characters. I forgot that Borderlands really values levels in its difficulty curve harder than any video game I've ever played. Like, I see people complain about the stat thing in recent Kingdom Hearts games. This shit is just, oh, you're 2 levels under this thing, you can't win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's World of Warcraft rules, where if you're even a little bit under, it's over. Like, once you cross that threshold, your attacks just do 95% less damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to stop the moon section, which is a pretty good section of Reese being a CEO of a mega corporation feuding with another one, where they're like, I got a giant laser, I'm gonna blow up all the things you like that donut shop. And I appreciated that bit. I thought that was okay, but I had to stop because I was apparently 2 or 3 levels lower than the stuff in there, and it was just a nightmare. Just going in, taking out one enemy, dying, and repeating until I can get through a wave of stuff to progress. So I just went back and realized, a side quests just give you 70% experience bar, like 70% of a level just by doing one quest. The downside is that you have to engage with more of the game's writing. Because I feel like most of the bad shit, in terms of like, this isn't funny, is from the side stuff, and not, some of it's in the main stuff, but I feel like it's really dominated by the side content of like, find my dad's killer. Oh, you found 2 people it could be? Pick one, I don't care. Oh. And a lot of jokes of, you really helped me, or maybe you didn't. Who knows?
Oh, this is very funny.
So play the game on mute. Got it.
Yeah.
It really fucking is. Because I haven't talked about the gameplay. The game is incredibly fun. I've been having a great time playing it.
And
when the game tries to not have a story and doesn't try to railroad me and like, please pay attention, because I do pay attention to it. I'm like, I'm gonna do that and then be extra mean to it afterward. But the gameplay and the whole gameplay loop's really enjoyable. It's a very fun game to zone out to. The gunplay feels really nice. And your various powers that you get are enjoyable. I like all of the different guns I've been collecting. Overall, just having a really great time, but good God, it is a game that pulls you in with good stuff, but is also pushing you at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Does it have music? I'm just curious.
Yes, occasionally.
Okay.
None of it's memorable. None of the music is memorable.
Yeah,
they used a licensed song in the beginning, but I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, that also sounds right. That's pretty on brand.
Yeah, they're like, here's our, here's our animated sequence.
Borderlands 1 had that song that was actually getting radio play when it was new.
Yeah,
it was surprising, and
they didn't want to pay that much ever again,
right? Apparently.
Oh yeah, they used like No Rest for the Wicked in the first game.
Yeah, don't pay any money when you get a giant $25 million plus check from Epic for doing nothing.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a lot of really good stuff here from a game. I feel like if you gave this to someone who went, we'll make a game that's slightly sarcastic, but you're just going through, this game would be like an 8.
So how much better would it be if it had like a GTA style writing, where it's legitimately funny when it tries, but mostly serious?
It'd be like an 8.5. Because there are some things that really bother me with the whole thing. One, the level curve I think is a little too aggressive, but your mileage may vary. Performance is a little rough. There's a part where you're moving this laser in a sequence, and the frames drop to the 20s. I'm on PS4 Pro performance mode, so the game targets 60 the whole time and stays near it.
Here's the weird thing. I heard the PS4 original actually locks 30 and basically doesn't drop it. Like it's a stable frame rate on that. Whereas the performance mode on the PS4 Pro is fluctuates.
I've heard split screen's a nightmare.
I bet. Ugh.
But basically, if you tried to do PS4 Pro and when I favor resolution, you're gonna have a bad fucking time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It can't handle it. But there are some like gameplay things that bother me. Like the inventory is really bad.
Oh yeah, I heard it's basically the same as the older games.
What?
Yeah, you're constantly getting new guns. You can only hold like I can only hold 3 at the moment, equipped.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the whole bag on the side. And then you have this constant fiddling of this should be easier. What I'm saying is they should have just ripped off Destiny.
Yeah,
And just made it the stupid cursor thingy. And then you thumb through it. With this, I feel like, am I throwing this away? I have to press too many buttons to get where I want to go with it, and it doesn't. Everything is in one bag, so it feels like Pokemon, like Gen 1.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, my grenades are in here, my shields are in here too.
Yeah, I also
and
heard
they don't categorize it by level or anything. There's no proper sort. Or not one that felt satisfying in a way.
One thing I heard is that when you buy ammo at the vending machine and you select refill all ammo, it won't actually refill the guns in your inventory. So you need to quit those guns and actually reload because it buys the ammo for them.
Yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right.
That's just
that's the problem it's had since the first one.
Yeah, no, this game just seems weirdly like it's just 2 again.
Yeah, it feels like the game that I played years and years ago because I played 1 and I played just a little bit of 2.
Games shouldn't really improve over 7 years, right? No.
Yeah, it feels like other games in this genre did some more interesting things, and this just kept on doing the exact same thing it always did. Thankfully for them, the gameplay is still like really strong. It's just if someone funny was writing it, and they looked at some mechanics that need some polishing up, this could be like one of the strongest games of the year. Instead, it's probably like a 6.5 for me right now.
Oh,
that's rough.
And it depends. If they can give me longer stretches of main story where it's characters talking and I go, huh, instead of, please stop talking. Please stop talking. I get it. You're live streaming me shooting your henchmen.
God.
They fuck over one of the main characters and say, here's this live stream VOD video we made of it, and they show you the video and it's like edited and stuff. And they're like, look at our production values. And I almost deleted the game because I was like, this is so bad.
Yeah, no, that sounds worse than Borderlands 2, which isn't even easy. Okay, so we need to not talk about Borderlands 3 anymore.
That's it.
That was more than enough. Yeah.
I will check in again next week to give you even more.
Is that a threat? Are you threatening me right now?
No, that's a promise.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to cancel next week's big
I don't
thing.
think I can afford Link's Awakening, so I'm gonna have to play more Borderlands.
Oh, God!
someone please fucking give Casey money.
Dan's like, I'm checking my accounts.
Let me see how much is in the podcast Patreon. I'm just gonna hit that payout button right now. Before I throw it to Phil, I updated my iPhone so that way I could get access to Apple Arcade, which has a lot of games on it. I downloaded 5 of them. I've only gotten to try one. That one being the new Frogger game made by Q Games, the creators of the Pixel Junk series. Not sure how to feel about this yet, but it did occur to me, when is Dylan going to start a video series of mobile game reviews from people with no money? I need this source. I need to know from Dylan what is and is not a good mobile game. Somebody contact her agent.
Also have to
anything.
Even better.
Oh, is it free?
Like,
I'll play
a
it.
Bubsy game.
Yeah, I want to know what the cutoff point is. I need every review to end with, I stopped playing it finally after 306 hours. But yeah, no, there are a lot of games on that Apple Arcade thing, and good lord, it would take a lot of time to check them all out.
Hey, it's okay. Well, we're all getting through this. I'm detoxing. I'm probably going to play Columns.
I think I'm going to try that new Shantae game that they released on there.
Oh yeah, is it? Didn't you
part
say
one.
It's part one.
Yeah, it's
I
part
can't-
one of the new Shantae.
Yeah,
What the
I
fuck?
can't wait for it to actually be done. Thanks
Yeah.
for beta testing, Apple Arcade stooges.
They're stooges.
There's also new games from Square Enix on here called Various Daily Life.
That's a pile of words.
Yes, it is.
Not going to lie, I expected that name to be a lot more weird.
Various daily life.
That's pretty weird, Casey. I don't know if you've been made numb to it, but that's just 2 words in English.
And real quick,
Yeah.
real quick. It's called Various Daily Life.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Various
I
Day
can't-
Life. It's
Okay, that's not better per
No.
se, but all right.
Because I couldn't find it with daily life.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I made it into a real word.
Day
Oh,
Days a
Boy,
word.
this sure looks like a bad mobile RPG.
If
I bet
I'm
it's wrong.
Day Life is 1 word.
okay, if I'm correct, this is actually made by the who's this made by? I don't know. I'm gonna look it up before I say anything because I don't want to trust people. Okay, it says from the no, I don't trust this. Okay,
God damn it.
what? It's a bunch of people saying things, and then I
Get through
read the
character arc where we get you to trust people again.
no, because it says from the creators of, and then it lists 2 different studios. Bravely Default and Octopath Traveler.
What?
It's from Bravely
mean,
Default and Octopath Traveler.
Those are-
You mean those 2 different companies, you dipshits?
Acquire worked with Silicon. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
There's slight crossover, my understanding for those 2.
No, you don't understand. They saw who published the game. They saw it was Square Enix, and they're like, it's them, the creators.
Okay, because I know they're doing like Octopath related like mobile stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering.
Anyway, what have you been playing, Phil?
I finished Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is a weird game. It
I was
very
waiting for the
strange.
mic drop from that. It's weird.
Yeah, I need to go fish it sometime.
The second disc feels like it takes an hour.
Huh.
Because unless you do there's an insane amount of optional content in the second disc. It's like almost all the stuff that would normally be at the end of a Final Fantasy game is there in the second disc, and the second disc is super short as a result. You get 4 you have like a string of 3 dungeons that you cannot do you don't even get to onto the world map in between them. You start up disc 2, you get those 3 dungeons, then you go to one place and it's the end of the disc, which is another dungeon. So unless you do a bunch of optional shit, it's 4 dungeons.
That's weird.
And then the third disc is also similar. It's like it feels very I think this might be a shorter game than 7. It's just 4 discs because there's so many fucking FMVs. There's FMVs constantly.
Yeah, I remember having that experience of I felt like I was getting really close to the end and like I was going through discs really quickly near the end, but I didn't finish it. So I was like, well, surely there's more.
Obviously, this isn't my first. Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite Final Fantasy, so this is just me playing it for like the 6th time, but like with more of a really looking at it without any childish, misinterpretations.
Let me explain. Feels now being objective instead of subjective.
He has become woke.
Well, I mean, I have experience looking at media and still being like this. I played this game at good. I've never.
He has
I played 3
experience
games.
in media unless it's a shooter.
Guys, as I said, I had to update my iPhone so I could try out the Apple Arcade stuff. It already crashed. You know what complicated thing made it crash, ladies and gentlemen? I tried to move my app icon into a folder.
How dare you?
Man, it's really exciting that live on this podcast, I'll be able to title it something related to your phone bricking.
God, this is awful.
So the rumor, after playing this, the rumor that Sakaguchi kind of fucked Kitase over with this, I'm starting to believe.
I've never heard this rumor. Explain it.
It's like, okay, I want to make a throwback Final Fantasy next. And they're like, okay, take half the people off Final Fantasy VIII to start making that. And then you play Final Fantasy VIII and you're like, wow, this feels... There's, as you go through the story, you have like Laguna flashbacks where you control Laguna and his two friends for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The last one of those is like a 5-minute long cutscene where he's like, yeah, I had a big adventure and beat this RPG boss and shot them into space. Like, it's literally him shoulder checking a giant JRPG witch and her like stumbling backwards into a ghost trap going, ah!
And so you're thinking this would have originally have been actual gameplay instead of like, how does this tie into? Okay.
So the concept of the Gooch screwing Kitase over seems believable, having played 9 and going. There's a lot
big and expensive.
That game feels massive and like adventurous, impressive. Like it does a lot of cool stuff.
Also, I can't decide if Kitase is just a fucking liar, or if he changed his mind, or if somebody at Square Enix is fucking with him. Because there was this theory with Final Fantasy VIII for a long time. Because you can skip ahead if you don't want to know the end of this game that came out 25 years ago.
Hey everybody, this is KZ in the editing room. If you'd like to skip any Final Fantasy VIII Endgame spoilers, jump ahead about 2.5 minutes. I'd give you a timestamp, but it's Final Fantasy VIII. It's not the 90s anymore. Anyway, we're coming back in 3, 2, 1, go.
The villain is the sorceress Ultimecia.
Raw.
And she came from nowhere. She has no backstory whatsoever. So the fan theory was, that's Renoa. That's an alternate version of Renoa, because there's a part where she gets captured by one of the governments, and because she's a sorceress, and they're gonna shoot her into space. Just go with it.
Raw.
So Squall, like his moment of realizing, he's in love with Renoa, he goes and saves her. So the theory is that Ultimecia is Renoa from a future where she didn't get saved in time and got shot into space. And there's like various things, like she summons Squall's ring, like the lion on his ring in the final boss fight. And she has like the opposite color scheme of Renoa, where like her clothes are red and her hair is white, and it's like vaguely similar pattern to Renoa, whose hair is black and her clothes are blue. So, people were just like, that must be what it is, because nothing else fucking makes sense. Otherwise, this character came from nowhere. And Kitase goes, he did an interview like 9 years ago. Was like, no, that's not true. Even if we remade it, I wouldn't do that. That's not true. And then, in Mobius Final Fantasy, I think it was, they had Ultimecia do Renoa's exact gesture she does in one of the cutscenes in 8, and it's insanely blatant. Like, and I can't tell if he changed his mind, was lying the first time, or if somebody's fucking with him.
Or the people making some of these other games believe something different.
Right. Like, I guess if you leave it up to interpretation enough, then whatever.
Because it's like 1-1.
Yeah. You don't go against his rule, though. He has a Buster Sword now. He'll kill you.
But I still really like Final Fantasy VIII. The first disc is the only disc that feels like this is probably more or less what they intended. And the second and third discs, it feels like, it really feels like, go. Like, they got most of the way through the shit on the first disc, and it's like, we lost our people. Truncate this. Because I played like 10 hours of the card game, and still it wound up being like the same length as Final Fantasy VII.
Huh.
Cool card game.
even disc 3 feels really short, where it's like you do like 3 things and then the disc is over. It's just like such a stark contrast from Final Fantasy VII, where disc 1 is, I would say, more than half the game. And it's not even like there's content on disc 4. Disc 4 has like a hallway, a boss fight, and then you're in the final dungeon, just like Final Fantasy VII.
Once you hit disc 4, can you go back and do side stuff, or is that all disc 2?
Nope.
Jeez.
You can do side stuff. You get the airship in disc 3 and then immediately lose it the next story beat. But that time you get the airship, you can go around and do stuff, and there is a couple things you can't do before you get the airship. Like you can't get the jumbo cactar summon until you get the airship. And you can't go to the bonus dungeon until you get the airship. But as soon as you get the airship, it's like, go crash into that dungeon and do it. Then you do the dungeon and you go into the dark future, and you lose the airship, and it's just like, go to the final dungeon. There's nothing else.
That's always annoying, honestly. Like getting stuck in, oh, we locked off everything else.
Yeah, it really reeks of like something happened.
Hey, they got 3 Final Fantasies out that gen, and they're all pretty well regarded.
They never got close to that again.
No.
Hey, they're about to get their first well-regarded one out in like a few months.
Well, I guess they got 3 out in the PS2 gen. One was just an MMO.
Yeah, and then 12 was just hardly out. Like, you play anything else, Vio?
Nope. I built a 1-turn victory Exodia deck in Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution, and have been using that to farm cards almost every other moment.
Wonderful. Preparing for content is really nice.
It's about Yu-Gi-Oh, so I can't say it's great, but okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a wonderful thing.
Oh, don't worry, Bob. You'll be able to participate too. They have deck recipes. You don't even have to learn how to play the game. It'll just stick a deck in front of you.
It's gonna be great. I realized when looking at the Genesis Classic stuff here, I don't know how they didn't put Rystar on this.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
That's like a somewhat notable absence.
That's a pretty notable one. Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
You got Dynamite Heady, though, right?
Yeah. We got that. I'm just surprised they didn't put that in there, because he's like a well-liked mascot lad. He was in Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed as the finish line ref.
I'd definitely trade Sonic Spinball for that.
Yeah, Sonic Spinball, pretty low tier.
I was going to bury a tidbit about Sonic Spinball here. After all these years, I finally found out why it runs like shit.
Why?
Turns out, when they found out, and some people know the first part of the story, stick with me. When they found out Sonic 3 was not going to be ready at all in time for the holiday season, they said, we need to gin up another Sonic game. Let the Americans at STI deal with it. So the Sega Technical Institute started work on a Spinball game. They banged out like a quick prototype, got it greenlit, and then they said, man, we're going to need all the help we can get to get this done in time. Let's outsource a lot of the coding. And since we're working with people outside of the studio and we need to get this done quickly and we need to make sure that the code is malleable so we can change various aspects of it, we'll have them create it in C. So it was like really early on in C as a programming language days, kind of. And the Genesis is powerful hardware when you're using assembly. So basically what it ends up being is a bunch of spaghetti code, and it was not done in assembly. And between those two things, the fucking game runs at like 15 frames a second.
They had a lot going against them throughout that, because like
They made it in
on top of like the code, they were so busy answering letters that they didn't have time to code. And it's like, if people stopped sending Sega of America letters, they would have been able to code that. Very unfortunate.
I'm not sure if there's a joke here.
No, he's just referencing that crazy man who's supposedly making a game called Yandere Simulator. That's it.
Wait, Jan?
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah,
that dude sent Sega of America a letter?
No, he said
No,
that he can't code his
he
game 'cause
posted
No,
video.
emails.
stop sending
Oh my
me
God.
emails. I can't code because you keep sending me emails.
I spend 12 hours a day answering emails. I'll finish the game when you stop sending me emails.
In the time it's taken that dude to not finish his game, they could have made 37 Sonic Spinballs. Anyway.
That's as many as 350s.
With all that talked about, unfortunately, for better or worse, it is time to move on to the news.
No.
What? Just no.
Doubloons.
We must,
You
we must honor them.
Oh no. We mustn't
We have so
forget.
many doubloons.
I didn't realize one of the Podlords this month was Lightning, if we mustn't forget them.
What a unique and compelling flower.
Such compelling flowers like.
Flowers such as Danny Richardson, Knockgack, E. Lee Broyles, third birthday when?
No!
Probably after the second.
You're
before
gonna
the
love
fourth.
when you figure out what that means.
David Cage Raw, Dank Mormons, Red Blaze 27, Plain Old Jucifer, Suzu Shiro, Matty Mo, Omega Chad Leo Luster, Emperor
That was a
Zero,
quick turnaround on that one.
Ramicus, Crystal Pen, Luminous 777, Mitzi. Look, I'm just saying barefoot should be legal.
Feels a
Block
pot
me on
lord.
Twitter.
Start with a lightning joke,
Block me on-
continue with a lightning joke. Chris Fitzpatrick, Battle Network Defense Force, hashtag free splash woman's armpits. Jesus Christ.
Jeez, we started so high and then got so low.
Flash woman's armpit.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Brandon Heat. Shiba Yagato begs you to stop being horny on main in the GigaBoots Discord.
Well, now they have to stop being horny on main in the fucking Podlord names.
Yeah,
Bill
I
needs
know.
to stop liking posts on Twitter.com.
Brandon
Never.
Hannabarger. Brandon Hannabarger.
Hannah Barger with cheese on it.
And Fettuccine Feline. Or if it was just all Italian, it would be Fettuccine Feline. Thank you very much
Raw.
to our Podlords.
Thanks, Podlords.
Burrito.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you.
Thank you, Podlords. I don't appreciate the names sometimes.
It might be getting out of hand.
Get the fucking flamethrower
I
in here.
appreciate the names.
I appreciate it. We got that Leo Luster one within 24 hours of that content.
Yeah, it was actually within like 16 hours. Jesus Christ.
Let's start with the most important news.
Why did
Oh,
I
yeah.
not believe him?
Of course.
News about Fairy Tail.
Oh,
God damn it!
God.
So they revealed a bunch of stuff.
3
This isn't
weeks
even a bit.
in a row.
I hate you
This
both.
isn't even a bit. I'm really excited about this game. I'm probably going to buy it day one.
Just go ahead and
Not
skip
even
like
'cause I
5
like
minutes
fire-
ahead in the podcast. It's fine. Just don't worry about what happened.
Not even.
5? Just
Not,
5?
e- not even because I like Fairy Tail, just because I like the developer. But they said the prologue will be the fight against Hades, who is the guy they fought right before that time skip. They say that it will cover the dumb tournament arc.
It's a
they-
hilarious tournament art. Very raw.
They say it's the first half of the game. They don't say what the second half of the game is. I assume it's going to be original because I think right after the tournament is when we travel back and forward in time to do something. Arc happens, and I can't imagine them.
I didn't understand what you were talking about with like time shit the last time we talked about Fairy Tail. That was happening in the middle of that tournament. Where it's like they got to the final round, and while the final round was happening with half of the second string cast in the show, they were like, you guys got to deal with the fact that this is the character from the future. And then they're doing stuff. And then the tournament, of course, by the end is interrupted by future character stuff. So the time travel stuff would have to happen here. I'm also interested when they say the first half of the game is the tournament thing, because the author also said that the tournament was the halfway point of the series. So it almost makes me think it might possibly just have all the stuff from that series in it from the second half on. Unsure.
Maybe the way they
I'm
say the game is structured. They say the gameplay is going to revolve around the guild, and you take jobs and do them. So it's gonna be structured very similarly to an Atelier game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested what the end game of a thing like this ends up being, where it starts off being like any other anime game that's retelling the show, but then it then transitions.
The way
to
they've
not doing
talked, it definitely seems like it's going to be shooting for like the Kakarot thing, where there's a bunch of content outside the story, which good. Let this be the birth of a new age of anime games that are worth playing.
That's kind of what I want from a game from this series, is playing as a character in that guild, just taking jobs, because that's like the point of that magic guild, is to go do various jobs that have various letter rankings, and you like rank up as a mage.
The ranking thing was in some of the Atelier games, so I'll be stunned if it isn't a mechanic here.
Yeah.
They say there's lots of post-game content planned. All the Atelier games have ridiculous amounts of post-game content.
Neat.
Hiro Mashima, the creator, said he is deeply involved with the character designs and the story and making sure all the girls lose their shoes.
You only included making sure all the girls lose their shoes. That's all you included in the notes.
Well, that's because there are more notes for me.
KZ, he is implying that he wrote down what was relevant to him.
Yeah, I know. And
I wrote down KZ's bit.
Yeah, I know, and you delivered in voice that the thing that's most important to you is seeing their feet.
The sooner we stop talking about Fairy Tail, the happier I am.
Okay, the mobile ports of DQ 1 through 3 are on Switch, and they're coming to the West in September 27th.
I didn't expect them to jump immediately out of it. That's raw.
I heard that was based on some of the like mobile ports of that. Is that correct? Does anyone else know? Can anyone confirm?
It's the mobile ports, but made worse.
Yes, because the mobile ports still had their own sprites, but these have the weird like MS Paint drawing a sprite on top of the original like SNES looking thing.
Super Nintendo backgrounds, Super Eagle to shit and back sprites.
Oh, that's a nightmare. Why have they done this?
Also, when you're doing like when you're doing battles, they like have Super Eagle. We drew flash versions of the enemy screens.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but I think that was in the mobile, maybe.
Why did they keep doing
that
this?
might have been, because I looked at footage of the mobile version, and that looks like, even the Dragon Quest fans say that's the definitive version of the first 3 games of the mobile ones.
Why do they keep doing this?
Ugh.
And these aren't, but I'm like, I guess I didn't expect them to finally start localizing these, so I guess that's neat.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're already localized. You can get the mobile versions are in English.
Yeah, you can get the mobile version.
Like
we put them on. We put them on Switch and fucked them up.
Like, I'm ripping a screenshot from like a Game Explain video to illustrate the thing I mentioned, which is they drew the background art for like the anime.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
that looks unbelievably terrible. That looks deeply, horribly, incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something better, like Borderlands again.
No.
Oh no! I can't escape!
Apparently, and don't go do this because I'm sure it doesn't work now. But for a while, if you bought Borderlands 3 on Epic Game Store and then refunded it, you could still play it. The DRM just broke.
Huh.
Or they don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah. They didn't.
Their shit.
Like it takes away you having purchased it, but all of the files to run the game are still on your PC.
The game is apparently kind of broken, and you have to go to the Steam forums for Borderlands 2 to get support.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot. Like, I think I remember something else where it's like, this game isn't on Steam, but another game in its franchise was, so everyone's doing support in there.
Bamco trademarked a bunch of things. They did Katamari Reroll, recently. So they trademarked Mr. Driller Encore and Clone Wa of the Wind Encore and a couple other things. So there might be a re-release of one of those games coming out soon, which I'm excited for.
The what?
Clone Wa of the Wind.
I'm really excited for the Klonoa remaster. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, why are you bringing up that right now? I don't even... Was that what Phil was talking about?
I was reading show notes. I don't think that's what he's talking about, but I think I'm excited
that's
for
what
this
I'm talking
one.
about.
Am I having a panic attack?
The joke was I'm saying it like quinoa. God damn it. Nobody understood shit.
That's because you can't speak English normally, that even when you try to do a J...
I fucking prepped you before we did this.
Thank you, everybody, to our podlords coming out to this podcast. It's unfortunate this will be our final episode.
Namco trademarked Splatterhouse, Mr. Driller, and Klonoa of the Wind Encore, which are obviously going to be some forms of remasters. Who knows where they'll be? Maybe they'll be terrible mobile games.
God, could you imagine Splatterhouse mobile game?
Super Eagle Splatterhouse on
Shake your phone to be grossed out. You're just shaking your phone and the fucking Duke Nukem voice is just like, this is gross. Make it stop.
I think somebody told me that that Katamari Damacy Reroll was called Encore.
Yeah.
Yes,
Japan?
it was.
So obviously this would be like the Wii one HD remastered. What fucking Splatterhouse? Oh god, what if it's the last gen Splatterhouse game?
That'd be insane.
That would be insane. But hey, you know who plays the mask in that game?
I hear that
It's Cat from Cat Dog.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a bad answer.
No, it's Cat from Cat Dog. KZ loves it when I give him an update on who is and is not Cat from Cat Dog.
I thought it was gonna be Vic Belongna.
When are we gonna watch the Cat Dog movie? For content.
That
one
doesn't
second.
exist. Fuck you.
1 second.
It does. They gotta find their parents.
There's. Oh my god, that's real. I was going to say the same shit
Yes, it's
Phil
real.
did.
Oh,
I tried to. Oh god, this is
Cat
got
Dog,
them.
the great parent, Mister.
I'm having such
Yup.
a seizure right now dealing with this information. I googled cat Dodd.
I have wonderful news on future content, audience.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no! It seems the turns have tabled.
What? This game.
Today I learned that the final season of Cat Dog was 8 episodes long and didn't finish airing until 2005. They showed like 1 episode a year from 2003 to 2005.
Man, that's
Wow.
fucking weird.
Yeah, that was. I remember that show being okay, but it was like lower tier
You
in
know
terms
who?
of a show I'd want to watch as a kid.
You know who played Dog? It was SpongeBob from SpongeBob.
Okay.
It was.
Is that your new bit?
I know
'Cause I
that-
like it.
I know that Katamari ran poorly when they did the rerolled version.
You're the Katamari and SpongeBob from SpongeBob.
I'm glad that, like, Klonoa is literally a PS2 game, so hopefully they can get that wording well on Switch.
Well, this could be based on the Wii one.
I forgot they even made a Wii one.
Yeah, they made a Wii one. I've actually
Yeah,
never
they made like
played
a
it. It's
Wii
real
remake of
bummer.
the first game, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's a remake of the first game, but it's obviously vastly prettier. Yeah, I've never played it. I really want to play that. Maybe after we get that Wii HDMI mod,
Maybe.
sometime before the end of the year, we can get a copy. Oh man, yeah, no, God, yeah. I hope this is good.
So we gotten through all of our terrible news for video games.
No, there's still much more.
Oh no!
God damn it!
That's great
No,
news.
wait,
Anthem
what?
is the light of our
I'm
lives.
snapping back to Q1. What's happening right now? Why did you say that name?
It's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Let me dig out this
Anthem
corpse to rebury it.
I'm getting nostalgic over Anthem.
Oh god, can I bury this corpse, please? I have the shovel out.
No, we're gonna play trumpets while you do it.
So Anthem had like a roadmap for in-game content planned. Like they were gonna do Axe, where they like a theater act where they
Yeah.
put out a bunch of content. All of those have been canceled.
Oh no!
But the company's fine.
And they have basically said, you're basically getting no content as we work on fixing the core problems with the game.
I'm looking forward to Dragon Age 4.
Yeah, it'll definitely come out.
See, even you agree.
Segueing actually from Dragon Age, because news did come out while we were recording this, and I'm going to go into real quick.
Oh no.
Oh no.
David Geider and some other fucking guy
Yeah.
from Beamdog are opening their own studio called, I think, Somerset Studios?
Not gonna lie, I
Might be
thought
Summer
I
Isle.
thought you were gonna say it's people from BioWare leaving again, and I was gonna pass out.
Well, no, these people already left.
Oh.
Summerfall Studios.
Oh,
So David Geider and Liam Essler are leading Summerfall Studios. They are going to make character and narrative driven games. They're going to preview their next game soon, and it's going to go on Kickstarter next month. I wish them success.
what were they involved in?
David
at BioWare?
Geider, David Geider wrote basically every Dragon Age game. Rutrow.
Yeah, not a good start.
Liam Essler wrote all the parts of the Baldur's Gate updates, the Baldur's Gate enhanced versions that everyone hated.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
What a
a
team.
fucking pedigree.
I would
Jesus.
still play their written game before Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Can they write Borderlands 4?
No.
Man who
They can name it Borderlands.
Man who tells rambling fucking story with no cohesion or conclusion much better than man who does bad stand-up.
Do you think, speaking of Borderlands 4, because I've
Borderlands.
noticed like a notable chunk, I'm not going to say a majority or anything because I know it's not, but like a decent chunk of people being like, wow, this sucks. Like they grew up between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3.
I haven't seen it, but I'll take your word for it, I guess.
I'm just wondering how much of that's going to happen each game.
Yeah, that might be a thing. I've seen so many like YouTube reviewers saying this is so dreadful to experience, but the game is good. And they're like, it's so hard to recommend this, and they're like, fucking get it on a sale if you hate this comedy. If you're a normal person.
Now, time for the last piece of dystopian news. We'll call it dystopian instead of bad.
Okay.
GameStop's remodeling all their stores.
Okay, that doesn't sound so bad yet.
I'm going to... Where's this quote? I had a fucking quote ready. Okay, here's the quote. Here is a quote from GameStop Chief Customer Officer Frank Hamlin. He has said that he hopes GameStop will become the local church of gaming. This is a direct quote. It is a really powerful thing to witness. My question around GameStop is, if you take that analogy of the analogy of the Vatican or Mecca or the Wailing Wall, why isn't GameStop the local church, synagogue, or mosque?
Replete with priests and certain things they've done we have to bury.
Now,
What? When they pass the fucking basket around for donations, what is it? Used games?
Yes.
Now, last year, Funko Pop did a Winter Eamus event in the holidays, which is the horrible gaming church holiday from Control-Alt-Delete.
Oh, don't no.
We live in a world where there is an above, like I would say at this point, a 25% chance GameStop could have a Winter Eamus sale within the next 2 years.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh no.
This-
no, why would no one would remember it? It's Control-Alt-Delete. It's all but scrubbed
I'm
from
just
the internet.
Funko Pop remembered it.
Yeah, because they're a psychopath.
Think about it, man. This is the week we talk about Borderlands 3 and GameStop wants to become the Church of Gaming.
The first Church of GameStop. It's like the fucking Sinister Six of our podcast bits coming out.
Where's
nightmare.
God?
This is a nightmare. Oh my god.
Anyway, that's all the dystopian news. Gogeta comes out September 27th.
Yay!
He looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him.
He does look cool.
I'm gonna express this in KZ's words.
speaking of
Gogeta raw.
He's a really real go-getter.
That actually works.
I hope that they do another season of Dragon Ball Fighters because I feel like they can only do one more Goku.
I don't think they can do any. Oh, I guess they could do Ultra Instinct Goku.
I mean, they could do Ultra Instinct Omen and then Ultra Instinct, like, Forma Verdaderda.
I'm gonna shove my thumb in my eye.
They could literally do Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Oh, have they not done Super Saiyan 3?
They haven't done Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He happens in a
No, he's
a
in the game.
He happens like in a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Goku
counts.
happens.
no, don't do that logic, because that logic means they could add Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Yeah, they could. They could do that. They could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything for more
I'm
Gokus.
just-
Dan's
If
like,
they
I
do
want all
season-
6 new characters to be Goku.
Yes. Hey man, at least I'm consistent.
Master
At
Roshi.
launch, I tell Xeon, no, I want a billion Gokus. Years into DLC, I still want a billion Gokus.
But Dan, we could have more Vegetas.
Who fucking cares?
Ah, you're right.
Oh my god, they totally can, because they can just add a Super Blue Vegeta.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, they redo the blue versions and just change their level 5 supers to those.
Man,
Anyway, Sony's having another state of play next week.
I'm excited for it.
Yes.
I don't know what they're going to show. I kind of expect they're just
Stranding.
going to blow The Last of Us 2 load all over.
Well, Last of Us 2
yeah.
is getting their media event that same day.
yeah, I
Ooh.
don't think so. Oh, is it the same day? I thought it was after.
It is. It is the same day. So the sound of it is release date, trailer at state of play. Then shortly after, everyone's like, we played it. Here's gameplay impression.
Arms being broken, somebody decapitated.
They said they're redoing the format of this, so hopefully it's not as depressingly bad.
Yeah, they don't have Final Fantasy VII Remake to hold them on their fucking shoulders like it's Atlas this time.
Okay. Having had recorded reactions of both of them, but I never released the first one because it was abysmal. Like, I checked back to kind of figure out, like, what the fuck? Did they change anything between the two? And they definitely did. The first one was all narration the entire time, and it was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And the second one was like, all right, we'll let fucking trailers rock. And we'll, like, set things up for the segments. So if they continue on the trend, this one should be solid so long as the games they have to show are cool.
It's also only 20 minutes.
Oh.
Yes. I'm excited to see what the Last of Us 2 stuff is, because if they show gameplay that's appealing, I might try it. I never played the first one. But
I would honestly
I'm at
recommend you
least
try that.
interested.
Well, it's-
I don't want to immediately default that it's going to be all misery. And this is not because the comment said, man, why do you think it's all going to be misery?
But because did you see the fucking trailer?
I'm hoping we'll see something with Ghost of Tsushima.
I don't think we'll see anything of Ghost of Tsushima, but I'm hoping that we will. That would be nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of buying into it got moved. It's gonna be cross-gen launch.
It was after that that job posting came out for like some critical roles with the game, made it sound like things weren't going well with it.
Yeah, that's what
That's
what
like it
people
was
are
off
saying.
track. Like it was off schedule. I'm excited for it whenever it comes out, but because I like that developer. That game looks cool. I'm guessing it's gonna be pushed heavily as a PS5 thing, even if it ends up being cross-gen.
Yeah, they said that this upcoming event will not have any PS5 news, which not a big surprise.
Of course not. It's not officially even announced yet.
Yeah.
I mean, the name is
Wouldn't wanna
announced.
do it
They've
this
officially
early.
talked about it, so it's not like it's.
Yeah, but it hasn't. I mean, we're buying into the theory where somebody got news and they were like, come see, instead of leaking our shit. Which is absolutely what I think happened. France slapped Valve in the mouth.
Oh no! Yay!
France said you have to let people resell their digital games. I expect Valve to just pull out of France forever. But, you know, if the European Union as a whole
once again, the
says
French
that,
have been owned.
I mean, companies have done that.
Yes, that's happened.
Be so fucking
Like-
nuts, too.
France is, I'm not sure if they will or not, but France is like just on the edge of being big enough where I think I could see Valve going, nah.
Just, we're pulling out. PC gaming's now dead in France. Enjoy your floppies.
There's an IP ban on the store. You can't get in if you're French.
God. Not gonna lie. If that ever becomes a headline on here, that will be my favorite episode of Big Think Dimension. Because we will be in another dimension. Like, fuck you. We're the main platform for for PC gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the French, though.
Yeah.
We don't want to conform to this.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how they can implement it if they're forced to. Like, I'm curious as how they'll go about it.
Yeah, I have no idea how they'd. I guess they would just have to. They'd just have to, like, build the functionality into Steam.
Right?
They already have a market thing.
I imagine they'll make, like, the shares on it, like, really low, where it's like, you want to resell this, we'll give you a fraction. Like a GameStop level fraction.
Well,
They might get their ass smashed in court again. You're allowed. I can't imagine that they'd be like, you have to let people resell things. Also, you can take most of the money and get to set the price. Like, I can't see that.
right.
Lying.
That doesn't sound like reselling to me.
What's the
sounds like
minimum
I'm complete.
percent, you think?
I mean, I'm gonna actually read the judgment.
All right.
Because who knows if they maybe said what that said exactly. Oh man, they busted Valve's ass on other things too. From now on, in France at least, assuming Valve doesn't go bye, if you have money in your Steam wallet and say, no, give me that as money, I'm never going to use Steam again, they have to.
That is something that should be true of all stores.
Video games are over. Give me my money.
I'm
You
taking
can't
my business
cancel
to Epic
video
Games.
games, Dan Video Games. What are you gonna be now? Dan Money?
I'm going to be Dan Audiophile and Dan OLED.
Dan.
Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna ignore the ruling. They're gonna ignore the ruling and just keep going. Because it says they have to pay 3,000 euros per day for up to 6 months as a fine if they don't do this in a month. They're gonna ignore it while they appeal.
Pennies on the dollar. Not a big deal.
But I don't know. I don't think there's. Well, actually, there's some fucking game site that lets you sell your keys back. I think, but it's literally GameStop percentages,
Oh.
and you sell it back to them, not to like somebody else. So resell, that means like Valve might be forced to be an intermediary, but they're not the ones selling it. They can't set any restrictions on that.
Yeah, some sort of open marketplace. Be like, hey, this guy's offering that game for $20. You want to take that?
Another no, nobody ever sell. Randy doesn't sell another copy of Borderlands 2 ever again. There are
But
so many of
Borderlands-
those. There are so many people who have copies of Borderlands 2 from some humble bundle shit.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'd put that up for a nickel.
just to know he didn't make the other $20.
No, to have a nickel.
Oh,
I'm never gonna play it. Having a nickel's better than not having a nickel.
And it's in your Steam wallet. You go to France, say, hey, give me the nickel right fucking now.
I need this nickel.
Video games, done.
But they did just be like, fine, you fucking win. When Australia was like, no, you have to give people refunds. So I could see them just being like, whatever. fucking whatever. And then if this happens, it'll get really funny because it'll be another thing to beat up on Epic for. Like, why can't I resell my Epic games? Steam does it.
God.
And they're like, we don't even have shopping cart. Leave us alone.
We tried to let someone refund a game once, and now we're getting sued.
PlayStation and Xbox really, really need that refund policy. It's absurd that Steam is still the only one.
Updated their refund policy, and it's fucking insane. Where they go, we are perfectly fine refunding a thing that you bought digitally. However, you must do it within, I think it's like, do it within like a month. But if you ever attempted to download it, you automatically cannot request this refund.
What? It automatically downloads when you buy it.
Yes. That's the problem.
Yeah, they're just fuck you. And it's going to be really funny if this leads to, like, you know, a
also,
steady
store credit
implementation
only,
of this kind of stuff. Fuck you, Sony. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's really funny. It'll be really funny if this, like, rolls out more and all of a sudden people stop talking about the digital future.
Yeah, won't that be weird?
Right?
It's kind of weird how the future is whatever thing will make a company the most money, and the moment it gets hamstrung in any way, it's no longer the future.
Don't you think you're being a little too correct?
Never, not once.
Okay.
It's so rare I have to cling to it when it happens.
Klonoa, something.
Somebody who remembers the first episode of the show will get it.
Yeah.
I was actually blanking out during that part, so I came into that confused.
Oh no, that was...
we got it.
We got it. That
It just wasn't. There wasn't anything else to go.
That was
it.
That was my assessed best route to engage.
Yes,
and it worked out great.
Bob, tell me about the game Shinzo Abe's writing.
I don't think Shinzo Abe is writing
fuck.
So
He may as well be.
Tamsoft is making a new video game. You might know them for making Senran Kagura and Oni Chambara. Their new game is called...
This kind of looks like a fusion of those two games.
A little bit. It's called Hino Maruko. It's about
Hino Maruko.
It seems to be about this girl with a robot arm who fights military and some other girl with a giant sword. It's pretty cool looking. It might be have a little bit of the sexual angle of Senran Kagura because they're being busted down on that a little bit more in Japan even now.
Oh really?
Yeah, like that's
yeah.
The censorship stuff of...
Well, this also has a different publisher than those games.
Oh, okay. I mean,
the company publishing this is called Piki, Pikii. I think all they've done before this is published Nicholas things in Japan.
Huh. But yeah, it looks exciting. That there seems to be a lot more intricate traversal elements just from the little bits of gameplay we saw. We saw a lot of the main character jumping over stuff and jumping onto enemies and destroying them. So I'm excited to see how this turns out.
It looks like, in contrast to your average Senran Kagura game, a game I can play without some insufferable person exploding into a paragraphs-long exposition about shit.
Hopefully.
I think this will produce fewer diatribes from insufferable people, so I'm all for it over Senran Kagura.
But yeah,
no, Dan. It's gonna produce just as many, if not more. Did you read the plot?
No, is there a plot synopsis?
Please fuck. I assume that's the plot now that you've brought it into view.
Please fuck.
No, the plot is that World War II never ended. It is now called the Great East Asian War, and the united forces of the United States and Soviet Russia are invading Japan, and she has to save glorious Nippon.
Please fuck.
That's kind of interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that. I mean, her arm drill thing, it's got drills inside of it. It's like a big old arm.
To never end.
I really...
And before somebody gets up my ass in the comments, be like, it's not World War II. It says it's 2036, and they say the Great East Asian War has raged for 100 years.
Preemptively upset at the comment.
No, that's fair.
Somebody's going to be like, they didn't say it was World War II. They didn't say it was World War II. It's not World War II. And the robots in Detroit aren't black people. Good job.
Good job. I look forward to Dr. Aggro having an aneurysm over this plot like he did Homefront.
It can't be as dumb as Homefront, but yeah.
What about Homefront 2: The Revolution?
I don't know that he ever had to tackle that.
Right.
I don't think we did a video.
Homefront's ridiculous plot aside, I remember them being like, we got a CIA guy to help us make our plot more plausible. And I'm like, all this tells me is that the CIA is incompetent.
Sounds to me like you got trolled.
We did a quick play on Homefront. People could still look that up. Unless I went back and watched it and decided it was so bad to private that video after this podcast was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of our older content's really just lame. We're like, okay, Bob, preview this game. Me and Aggro are just gonna shit talk for 30 minutes. But no, that most of that quick play is just Aggro being like, North Korea, not China. North Korea does it. Okay, sure. Who the fuck wrote this? What the fuck? That's a real writer. What the fuck? And then it later turned out, yeah, they just paid him money to put his name on the box.
Yeah, also I think there's rumor of, it was going to be China, but we can't do that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, we can't do the thing that would make sense but maybe upset somebody.
Yeah.
I think the most insane part of that, like that whole thing was like, 2017, North Korea and South Korea unify under North Korea. Why? Shut up. We didn't write how this happened. We just said it did.
Yep.
KZ, I believe you have some news.
All right, I'm going to open up with the Guilty Gear stuff. Because, like every Arc System Works related thing that they show, it was way too short, but it looked really cool. They showed,
At least this time they have the argument that it probably isn't super far along in development.
Yeah, they did a short trailer, that at the very end revealed, May with an updated design and said that they'll be doing a new trailer, likely featuring her at the end of September. At an FGC event, which is like 2 podcasts from now we'll be able to talk about that. Game looks really good. Like everything they showed there looked really, really nice. They did an extended interview talking about their approach with this game in trying to make it a bit more approachable.
Which I think is the wrong approach, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah. I feel like they're very aware of those concerns because their answer was so long. Like they kept going back and forth between the two guys, Daisuke and Kitano, just going into it.
This isn't specific to Guilty Gear even, but it's like that dude sweating at 2 buttons. It's like all these developers are trying to find the magical combination of features where it's like, what can we do so new players don't get run over by people actually good at fighting games? And the answer is nothing. It doesn't matter what you do to the mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, you can level out the early on steps, but you're still just going to be floored by someone who's actually good.
Like, even if they're, first of all, they aren't even at the start. Somebody who played other fighting games before is going to be better at neutral, no matter what. And it all comes down to a person who wants to be good at a fighting game is always going to end up better than a person who doesn't want to be good at a fighting game and will actually try to become better rather than, you can't just want. If it was just wanting, I'd be at Evo. So I feel like this whole gen has been struggling with this very issue. Meanwhile, Tekken 7 is like the most complicated video game ever made, and it's the best-selling fighting game outside the NetherRealm stuff.
Well, that just means that Guilty Gear needs to get Negan in. Can you imagine his animations?
I don't want to. Unless they do a Daisuke
making me
redesign.
think about Negan.
You brought up Tekken!
First of all, what kind of fucking name is Negan? This has always pissed me off.
I agree with
Southern.
this assessment. No, I've never met a motherfucker with a name like that.
Like, what is this? Does this motherfucker have a real name?
I've met multiple chicks whose
Negan.
names are Reagan misspelled, but I have never met a motherfucker with a name Negan.
I knew a kid named Orangelo.
Oh, you know
Orange
Orangelo?
Jello.
Shit, man. Fuck, I didn't know you know him.
I don't know why just the name Negan bothers me so much.
I almost fucked up and said, don't worry, guys. His real name is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. No, that's the actor. Never mind.
Yeah. Like, now I'm on fucking Baby Center looking up whoever gave this person that their son's name. And the answer is nobody. Ever.
Good.
Until this show came out.
Bad.
It's how, like, you look up the name Shion, and you get to, like, 2007, and it spikes.
Yeah.
It's a fucking good name. I named my kid after Kingdom Hearts. His name is Chicken Nugget.
With an X.
That's how I control him.
Chicken X Nugget. It's the crossover of the century.
I'm just thinking
Does it
Chicken X Nugget, but it's Demon X Machina.
Demon X Nugget. Caramel X Nougat.
It's pretty good. We have another Arc Systems related thing. They put out a trailer for their next Grand Blue Versus character, Matera? Is that how I'm supposed to say this one?
I don't know. I don't know who this girl is at all.
She has heels that are just foot-long knives.
Yeah, a lot of like, I think that's a thing with that race, or people in the military of that race, where they just have like weird knives on the bottom of their feet and balance on the knives.
I think it's neat that Arc System has found ways to continue to show as little gameplay in their trailers as possible by having random chibi references to the games in there that can go in between to a small hit string of a combo.
Yep, that sure sounds like them.
It's a 50-second trailer film. And there's just like 20 seconds of gameplay in it. The bow looks
that
raw.
Sure sounds like them. Their trailers have been so fucking bad all this gen. It's like, why aren't more people bitching? It's ridiculous. It's like 45 seconds, and half of that is their super.
I feel like, honestly, in my experience, many Japanese game trailers are terrible. Like, they're captured at 30 frames per second, even if the game is 60. They don't show a lot of gameplay. Like, this is pretty common with Japanese trailers. I feel like they're getting better about it.
Like, if you look at a Kingdom Hearts trailer, for instance, whenever they show gameplay in that, it's like someone on ADD, where they cut after 1 or 2 hits. They're like, fuck it, show something else! Show something else!
They were edited by the guy who did the fucking Queen documentary.
Yes! Oh, no! You know what?
Emmy
These are a
Award
little
winning.
slower than that.
Some person in the audience is having an aneurysm because I said documentary and not biopic.
Actually, it's biopic.
Oh, I love Biopic. That was a great Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Bio Brawly, right?
Yes,
See,
actually.
at first his name was Prick, and then he became Bioprick.
He was also voiced by Cat from Cat Dog.
Oh man, he really needs to voice a DBZ character.
Yes!
Come on.
Dude, that'd be great. That'd be so good.
Yes. Did we have anything else to say about this Grand Blue Fantasy versus?
No.
No,
not really.
I hope they reveal a character I give a shit about at some point.
May's
We're
really
running
cool
out.
in Guilty Gear. That's neat.
Oh yeah, no. May's great. Very thrilled about that art.
Oh, I was talking about Grand Blue.
Nope, we're moving on to
We're going back. We don't want to talk about that Grand Blue
backward.
character.
I have no idea who May is, but she has a big sweater and big hat, so I stand.
Let me explain. So she's got a big hat, which is cool, but she also attacks with a gigantic anchor, which is really cool. But she uses dolphins as projectiles, which is fucking awesome.
Dan, are you trying to tell me that this might be the greatest fighting game character of all time?
Yes. She's the best
Alright,
Guilty
good.
Gear character. Kai Kisuke comes in
I'm
second.
willing to believe you as someone who knows nothing about Guilty Gear aside from it being boneless Blaze Blue.
That's insane. Because Guilty Gear is the most like metal raw fighting game. How did you not play it, KZ?
Once again, Blaze Blue was the only entry getting. It was the only series from Arxis getting new entries for a decade or something. You know, it took until
by the time it would have even hit my radar.
We had this
Blaze
whole
Blue
gen.
was happening. Oh, this gen, I didn't play many fighting games at all until the last like 3 or 4 years. I own Guilty Gear Rev 2 based on like a sale,
right?
but I haven't touched much.
Also,
of it
for
at
the
all.
record, it's
My
not that.
introduction to Guilty Gear was through Mugen.
Oh, that's classy. I'm not gonna say that Blaze Blue is boneless Guilty Gear, but I would say that Guilty Gear is extra crunchy Blaze Blue.
There we go. It's got the double coating.
Mm-hmm. It's got.
I was wondering if you're gonna let me just let that landmine just sit there in the podcast.
It's almost like it's more nuts than peanut butter at this point.
I saw we were talking about fried chicken from KFC.
Reservations about the new Guilty Gear aside, at least it's not another Muso.
Yeah, because they did do Guilty Gear 2.
Ugh, yeah, they did.
Now,
Guilty Gear 2 on the 360 was a fucking Muso game, and the director was like, no, this was always my vision. I just couldn't do it before.
Yeah,
It
it was
was-
just stupid.
It's a Muso game, but it's like the worst Muso game.
It really is.
Like I play Muso games. I like Muso games. That is a terrible one.
It's trash.
I don't think I've ever seen gameplay of it.
Imagine
I
if,
should look it up someday and be depressed.
if
Oh,
you
don't
knock the
worry.
enemies over.
Uh-huh.
You have to wait 10 seconds for them to stand back up so you can hit them more. Every time.
This looks like Nier.
Yeah, it's like worse.
I'm going to go ahead and make a promise
Yeah,
to
but
everyone.
worse.
If you keep watching our channel, you will see some high quality footage of Guilty Gear 2 before all is said and done.
Yeah, please, because this quality is ass.
Yeah, no, it's ass.
what were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
We are 2 months away from finding out how potentially casual doomed this Guilty Gear thing is, because they're gonna make it
I
playable
don't think-
at the thing.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah,
yeah,
that'll be fun.
it's gonna be playable at Arc Revo in November, like mid-November. They're doing like their finals, so it'll be playable there. I'm sure it'll look raw.
Maybe it'll be like Street Fighter 4 where actual people get to test it and they're like, this is absolute trash, and they have to remake the whole game.
God, no, please. That's why Street Fighter 4 feels
I
weird.
know.
Did you guys know about that?
I knew
No.
all I know about was like the very first like conceptual version where it looked more like Tekken.
Oh, let me explain. Street Fighter 4 was literally a 3D game that the hit detection was based on physical models. So the whole thing felt awful to play and super weird. And they had Dimps rehaul everything with the hitboxes and fucking everything else in the last 8 months of development or some shit.
Oh.
Cool.
People got to play it and they're like, what have you done? So I'm hoping this Guilty Gear isn't in a situation where that needs to happen, Bob.
Right? That'd be bad.
That's an understatement.
I think it's pretty. I think it'd be pretty funny if it comes out and everybody's like, "This is trash," and then like 11 months later, they're like, "Here's the first revision where we totally remade it."
I think this will come out and people go, yeah, it's a bit watered down, but it's still all right. But it took some stuff I liked, though. I feel like that's going to be the general sentiment whenever that comes out.
Have you met people who go to Evo? Because I've never known them to be that reserved and calm about something being ruined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guilty Gear. I feel like Guilty Gear is like the most
People are still yelling about
the
Street
big
Fighter
one of
5
like the
daily.
Right. Like,
that's because Street Fighter 5 fucking sucks.
See? Feels
Hey,
doing it right now.
No thuggery. No thuggery.
It could never be as bad. There is no way that they'll be like, here's the new Guilty Gear. Remember all those moves you had? You have to fill up a meter and pop it, and you get your moves back now. Whenever that meter isn't full, you're a weird, shitty, gimped version of your character. It cannot be that
Comeback
bad.
mechanics feel.
It's not even a comeback mechanic. It was a we want a gimmick like the other fighting games. We don't know how to do that. Let's lock off shit you could do in every other Street Fighter behind V-Trigger.
Sounds like someone doesn't want to adapt.
Now that we bring it up, we never did do a fight night between us podcast hosts with Street Fighter V, did we?
No, it has not happened.
No, you learned first time we got close to it. You didn't know that you had to do an additional download based on the disc, and you were drunk as shit.
That wasn't a normal fight night. That was just me hanging out.
And since then we have not tried now.
Yeah, that
I actually uninstalled it because I thought we never were going to.
No, that's fair, because the event he's
it takes up a lot of
describing,
space.
the event he was describing, wasn't that like one of the days of E3 or some shit?
No, it was in Castlemania.
Oh, okay. It was just months and months and months and months ago. And I was like, this thing's going to take over an hour to download. Thank you, Sony servers. I'm going to be asleep by then.
That was a good day. That was a good day where we just vegged out and played fighting games, and you were just done.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Moving on. Well, there was a Final Fantasy VII Remake TGS gameplay thing. They did a stage show over at Sony. The things where Sony actually tried a little bit of TGS, where they're like, "Hey, we'll bring out a host. We'll bring back someone who's working on the game." They showed the demo that all the outlets have footage of now, which is like the very start of the game. Showed off classic mode, which is a mode where you're going through the combat and the game is automated. So it's an AI controlling like the basic combat, and you control things via the ATB. So you like activate the slow-mo and then choose your skills, and it's like the closest way to replicate the old game with this.
I can't imagine that actually being good.
Yeah, I guess it's like for it can work for like accessibility for some people who just can't handle like operating a game that much.
Hey, KZ. You want to have a 45-minute argument on the semantics of classic mode?
No, I don't. I don't want to
Okay.
have a semantic argument about it. It's like, it's a bad name. It's like fucking whatever. It's like, it might trick people. It's like fucking people can read.
First of all, like, if you're worried about something about Final Fantasy VII Remake tricking people, you should probably be worried about the title.
Yeah.
You would probably start with Final Fantasy VII Remake, the game that is not at all telling you it's the first part of a game.
The first 5 hours of a 25-hour game.
But yeah, I have to agree. Like, that's not a accurate name at all. It's just it's an automated mode. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't give you at all the feel of the old game. So,
But Bob, don't you realize that anyone who wants the old type of gameplay is brain dead, and thus that's why this is for them? No, this is...
Man, I can't believe you finally cracked the code on it.
See, that's the thing. Square understands. That's their assessment, Bob,
I feel
not
like
mine.
they were given two options here. They're like, we can do classic mode, because then all you're doing is you're hitting the commands and using the ATB like the old one. Or we could call it auto mode. And they're like, no, people kept making fun of Final Fantasy 13 because they had an auto battle button. We can't do that.
That's true. They did do that.
This will get us better press.
even if it's just wrong.
Oh God,
well.
I bet that's almost exactly what happened.
I assumed, given when Final Fantasy 15 was coming out, and they just like ran over FF13 over and over again to say, look, it's open world. Look, there's chocobos, NPCs.
Just backing up, driving forward, backing up.
When they brought out Sakaguchi to say, yeah, I think Final Fantasy lost its way, but this Final Fantasy 15 looks like a step in the right direction. I'm like, holy shit. Stop stabbing your last game, guys. All right.
Fuck you, Sakaguchi. Also, shut up.
They showed off actual gameplay that wasn't in the demo. I was super scared when they were just showing this demo, and it was the same stuff. I'm like, don't do it. Show something else. And they did. They showed some of the squatting minigame.
Raw.
Very, very raw, because they make you do a pattern of going through the 4 face buttons on the PS4, but then the HUD disappears. And you still have to do it, and you'll like fall down if you fuck up the input. So I'm looking forward to the trophy of do 100 squats.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And they showed a video of the apps boss fight. That's like the sewer monster. That's like shortly after the
surprisingly good water effect at you for the PS1 at you.
Yeah. And they showed a lot of Tifa gameplay, Aerith gameplay, and the Ifrit summon, revealing that summons, in fact, work somewhat similarly to Kingdom Hearts 2, where they appear in the field and will attack controlled by an AI, but then you can use ATB gauges. You can pay those to unload different skills.
Yeah, I was getting kind of Final Fantasy 12 vibes from it, too.
Oh, yeah, actually. That also...
It was really lame, though, to see Ifrit just lumber around and shoot the littlest fireballs ever. Like, I was like,
that was funny.
Please, just
maybe
have
you
him
can
be a
level
big
him up and
attack.
he turns raw.
Maybe you can level him up.
Also in that footage, Tifa just doing fucking bleach flash steps and comboing things.
I know one
got
of her skills
really
in a
excited
trailer was
by
called
that.
Omni Punch. So I was guessing it might have been that.
That was cool, but I always worry a lot about canned animations to that extent. Like, if that's going to feel good to actually play. But as long as it's dedicated to like a special
looks
attack.
really good, and if it feels close enough, I'm gonna get really excited. I'm like, please feel awesome.
I'm fine with like a canned animation as like a special ability button, so as long as like moving as the character and hitting the basic attack button feels good, it'll be fine.
Right.
The basic moment to moment like punching or cloud slashing looks like the most satisfying shit with all the Power Rangers hit sparks that are happening. I'm hoping they really nailed the feel on that. It's like when you go into the recent God of War, where they made just the feeling of the axe really solid in that game.
That did feel a lot better than I thought it expected to feel before I booted it up.
Yeah.
Yes, the vibration really helped with that.
When you do the fully charged axe swing to like kick them in the face after.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked that too.
No, it's really good.
Yeah, and the enemy reacts appropriately.
That really shows
I
that,
don't know if that'll happen in this game.
Yeah, the enemies in God of War really like react to being hit. Like it feels solid when it lands. Do you think
I feel like most enemies will.
Do you think anyone in this game is going to get the iconic Volt Kruger move, Giant Swing, where if you swing them into a wall, you immediately stop doing the move and do no damage?
We'll have to. Well, we've seen Giant Swing from Rude, the Turk. So maybe if we get him in a corner.
Yeah, imagine if it's like a weird callback where if he Giant Swings you near the wall, he just lets go.
Yep.
Basically, what happens is you'll later get a fight that's Rude and Reno, and just at one point, Rude goes, "You ready? You ready?"
Hey, come on!
Can you imagine like Rude picking Cloud up, and then like Reno does a stunner on him while Rude is holding him?
No, they're gonna hold down Cloud's head, and then the other one's gonna run up and goes, "Here goes!" as they put him in the face.
This is the only time I'm like, yeah, get as much bouncer content as you can get into Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But only in the Turks.
I'm honestly really excited by the idea of group Turk fights where they're doing like their own combo moves on you. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, the Turks have a real bouncer energy to them. I think.
Just only the Turks get to be bouncer references.
Rufus is just Duragon. I think it all fits together. This gameplay they showed looked really good and just as polished as the other stuff they've shown so far, which Makes me pretty pleased because this is a little bit farther into the game. Because I imagine there's a lot more new content throughout the whole thing. So I imagine it'll take you a lot longer to get to the later wall market section.
No, this is 2 hours in.
That would be hilarious. Where it's like, oh man, we just somehow got here this quickly. We're just reordering events now. That'd be pretty funny. So I accidentally
I
did
do
that
hope
thing.
they show like they haven't shown like anything but combat yet, so I do hope they show like here's you running around a town area soon.
As a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts 3, no, they will not. They will not do that. Everyone's like, I want to see the menus and I want to see them running and maybe like a bread and butter combo that isn't like a super finisher. No.
But there's content other than trailers. They could put it in like a press demo.
No. Hey, how about what we do is, do you want to see the bombing run, Mr. Feel?
Yes. But I already saw it.
You're going to go ahead and we're going to show you the bombing run again.
Oh,
Only this time we can show you that you can set the timer to 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
Did they fucking show that? Did you make that up?
No, they showed that.
Yeah, Cloud walks up to the thing and there's a prompt of 20 or 30, which makes me really interested in why that matters.
It's probably going to be some shit like Final Fantasy VIII where it determines the reward you get.
Yeah, at the end of the 30-minute bombing run, you fight Sephiroth.
It determines whether or not the colony drops.
You see, if you
like maybe you
if you pick 30 minutes, it ensures that this is a sequel to Final Fantasy VII. But if you make it 20 minutes, it's not.
Oh, if you make it 20 minutes, you've stepped into the sequel timeline.
Yes.
The Final Fantasy VII rebuild timeline if you pick 20 minutes.
I mean, they already showed that sequence or after the whole thing collapsed. So
yeah, no, they showed that.
All we now is the scene right after it where the ghost lift back up and it all undoes.
Anytime we have a chance to turn this into Gamer Premonitions Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, no, it's always a good time.
I'm having a great time. So, I feel like there's always been a concern about Pokemon Sword and Shield, how many new Pokemon are going to be in this game. And it's like, don't worry, maybe they'll just start accelerating, showing us more and more Pokemon with each info drop. We have one new Pokemon announced for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and they also did a week of lead up for it as well.
KZ, this is only for Pokemon Sword.
It's also only for Sword. They're not even showing you an exclusive for the other version.
Yeah, I guess that must be what they're going to do next, but it's so weird they didn't do it in a pair.
They showed a glitched Pokemon on their website. It would like run away from you if you tried to put your cursor near it. And then it was revealed it is Surfetched, an evolved form of Farfetch'd that's like a knight. It's fighting type.
Yeah.
Sword exclusive. Big sword. 2 feet tall, 260 pounds.
Whoa.
It's including the weight of the sword and shield.
I guess so.
Yes.
Which it's a lance, really?
Yeah, it's a lance. If anything, this dude
cool.
Eyebrows
should have been in. It probably should have been in Shield because it definitely has a shield,
right?
Its Pokedex entry like references a real world painting of like a knight facing off against a snail, which is like a British thing, and their version is like it fights the Escavalier, which is like the snail knight.
Yeah.
From one of the previous
I guess
gens.
it'd be like Escavalier?
Escaflowne?
Yes. Both of you nailed it.
Watch them reveal sword or shield next week is going to have a Pokemon that's just a sword.
Well, actually, I probably shouldn't say this.
Okay.
Because it's part of that leak that has been entirely true so far.
Well, thank you for not saying it.
I appreciate
I won't.
that.
If you want to go find that, you can search Pokemon 4chan leak.
How depressing.
Yeah, that came out months ago, and it said stuff like
in May.
that's already been revealed, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like posting things in May like, this is going to be this team. Here are the two rivals. Here's their exact names. Farfetch'd has a sword.
Farfetch'd will have an evolution called Surfetch'd.
Yep. It's insane how this was spoiled that far out.
Right.
Oh, well.
And I was like, I hope this leaks because this is great. I want Farfetch'd to get an evolution. He's a G.
I think it'd be funny. If like this is the first Pokemon game with a lot of Western influence, because there was that guy from VP who got hired at Nintendo and apparently is working on it. And they're just like, no, you're all banished now. So much shit leaked because we let the Americans in. Be gone.
What's a Pokemon that was from like the early gens that you would want to get a Galarian version of?
I guess they could do a Ninetales evolution.
That'd be neat.
And that one had two.
Heracross or the other beetle one whose name I can't remember right now.
I can't answer this
Pinsir?
question.
Yeah,
Why?
Pinsir. Heracross or Pinsir?
Why can't you answer this question, Dan?
Because my favorite Pokemon from first gen was Originality Mon, and they can't evolve him because it involves making new Pokemon.
Well, they made the teacup thing, and they showed that already.
Yeah, that's neat. It'll go nice in my collection of 20 whole new Pokemon.
Hey, don't worry. They're just keeping all this shit a secret, and then when it accidentally gets data mined, it'll all be ruined anyway.
Don't worry, Dan. Next year, when Pokemon Ultra Sword and Shield come out, it'll have the national dex.
No, even worse. In this version of Sword and Shield, different Pokemon want to go on a vacation this time. I know you expected this one to show up because it was in the last one, but it didn't feel like going this time.
It's not even... It's ones they already have data for in the game,
Yes.
but removed.
Yeah.
Like you see shit like Ralts is in this right now. Not the next one that's in the same region. They're like, nah, it left.
Ralts got tired of it there. Come on, man.
They'll be like, this is the alternate universe version, and the alternate universes are canon, so this is an alternate version of this region. So that's why
I want to
different.
die.
No,
Let's wrap this up.
no Battle Frontier. I hope they do something with Delibird. Delibird's raw.
Delibird is raw. I didn't realize until I was like last year that his name is a pun.
What was that painting one? Because I know he also didn't get an evolution.
Well, I mean, I didn't realize that his name in Japanese is almost exactly delivery, and it's not Delibird.
All right, you said painting Pokemon?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that guy.
Oh, Smeargle.
Oh,
Smeargle,
Ipom.
yeah.
Oh no, Smeargle. Ipom is the
is the monkey.
first form of the
Yeah,
Hitmonlee.
Smeargle was the dog with the pale
paintbrush.
paintbrush.
In the
Yeah.
palette. Yep.
The version of Hitmonlee
That'd be
that
good.
is ridiculously has like beefy legs.
Wow.
Yes.
I thought.
Oh, Ipom did get an evolution.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Got an
Ambipom.
evolution in Gen. It got an evolution in Gen 4. How the fuck did I never know that?
Yeah, Gen 4 just did that.
Probably because there's 850.
Yeah, it can be pretty hard. I hope Dunsparce gets more play in this new Pokemon game.
Bob, for the record, Apom is the exact Pokemon that viewer of ours is based on.
Yeah.
He put the word pus after, so it's Apompus.
Okay.
Hey.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought that might be it, but I didn't know for sure.
Yep.
Well, we've done it.
We finished it. We finished the fight. We're all good. That's all the news ever. Video games are over. Give me my money back, team.
Feels like it's not that bad. There's not much news here.
No American. Well, actually, there wasn't that much news. We didn't get to the news until like an hour and a half in.
Yeah, I'm gonna break your fucking neck. All right. Dan, what we got going on next week? That thing we do at the end of the podcast.
Depending on how the PS1 Retro Roulette stream goes, we may just do another this coming Friday. The PlayStation 1 has such a broad and varied library.
Like the Fifth Element.
It does have that. You are correct. That we are very excited to explore it with viewers. And it took forever for this mod to get done and other stuff just because of complications with getting a suitable PS1 that wasn't full of scary spiders. or dead
Did
roaches.
you see that post about the PS4 with the roaches in it?
No, I don't need to. I'm good.
Yeah, it's bad. Like 80 of them.
Not good.
Yeah,
No
not
bueno.
bad.
Yeah, it was a YouTuber. He took the casing off his PS4 and it was full of roaches because the holes on the vent back are so big.
That's true. They are pretty big.
And also,
he
he
was
probably lives
and he was
like a bad man.
Well, he's a YouTuber.
yeah,
so.
everybody was. He was like, Sony, make the vent holes smaller. On the next one, people were like, why don't you clean your fucking house?
Right? Like that
What
can
if
happen.
what
That
if they
has
made the
happened.
vent holes really big?
I'm
Oh
I'm
my god,
really-
the Fifth Element there is a Fifth Element game on PS1.
Yeah,
Of
we
course.
know. We just
Yeah.
said that.
I thought KZ, I kept thinking KZ was joking about Apocalypse, the Bruce Willis PS1 game.
Oh,
No, mine is worse.
Yeah. No, he's right. Neversoft does all right work, you know? They make pretty good games. Apocalypse was okay.
But yeah, roaches have been getting into consoles since their inception. It's just that you live like a person who gets roaches in your console, and that's how it happens.
So I'm excited for the down the rabbit hole on whatever YouTuber posted that image so that way I could see the downfall of their lives that led to that PS4.
It's called not vacuuming, Dan.
Well, you could also just, have everything covered in food. You could just leave, I don't know, a can of
I have a ham
SpaghettiOs
sandwich
open on the
my
floor.
PS4. I don't know what happened.
Where'd it go? What happened? But yeah, that's and sometime soonish, the Detroit Let's Play will start going up. KZ, what do you have going on next week?
Now, at first I was gonna be like, same as it ever was, but now I'm double checking because I've backloaded content enough. I'm like, oh god,
What
is
if
it
I'm
running
running out?
Oh god. Oh, hold on. This is a serious situation that's about to happen. Live reactions right now. Is Casey about to buy the gun? Why does YouTube take this long to load it? Oh god, I'm running out.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad that YouTube changed its design to become some sort of labyrinth for me to get lost in.
Not only can I never get verified, my channel isn't big enough, but it takes 13 seconds to load back to the old studio. Yeah, by the time this comes out, yeah, I only have 3 days of content left. Oh, that's bad. And I have a podcast at it. I don't know. Maybe the channel's going on a break. We'll figure out these things together, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck. Feel.
Thank you all for supporting the podcast. It helps a lot. I gave my answer.
That was his answer. He appreciates.
Thank you
in a
to our
parlor.
pod.
Oh, okay. So in the next week, I will submit a game to Dan's Retro Roulette. It will either be a game I know for sure is good and love very much, or a game that is kind of a meme, but I think it's okay, and I think Bob would like. So I haven't decided which ones that I will do yet.
Exciting.
I'm probably gonna make them play a rail shooter featuring Aerosmith. We'll see though.
Oh, fucking son of a bitch.
I keep forgetting that exists.
It's raw. And it's worse. I could have made them do the Fifth Element.
I kind of might prefer that. I don't know.
You kind of what?
I might prefer
My game is largely inoffensive.
I don't know. Playing like a light gun game with a controller always sucks ass.
Mm-hmm.
Playing it on PS1 will be infinitely better experience than my childhood of an SNES version.
Did you guys know that Resident Evil Survivor actually had light gun support in Japan and they patched it out in America?
Wow, that's psychotic.
It is.
That's like, we're gonna make your version worse for no reason. Fuck you.
That peripheral's not coming there or something, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
They
Fuck
take
you,
it
kid.
out.
Fuck you.
I had a fucking light gun for my PS2. They could have given it to us.
Yeah.
I looked at the length of this podcast and said I'm gonna buy a gun.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more gamer premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. The spooky executive producers for the month of pre-October are Vincent Pover, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Dryzard, Shadow in the Darkness, Red Blaze 27, and Third Birthday. Thank you very much to our pumpkin spiced executive producers. And also these guys. If you like this video and want to support us, then head on over to our prematurely haunted Patreon at patreon.com/GigaBoots and become an executive producer today. Ad revenue.